We are live.
Are we live, Bazza? On
I
this
hope
1
so.
year almost special Bazza live stream with the correct voice?
Oh, did it? My voice has been killing me all day, man. Been out
Right,
there
right.
filming, been out to train for a couple of days. I think my voice is going to finally go at some point.
Well, at least you still got your lugs and your cap on and bits of that's all you need. You
I've
still
got.
got your buying powers and you don't need your
I've lost.
voice
I've
to
lost some yet the other
disappointment.
day. Stressed out, man. But welcome to man. I can't believe this is like 1 year for us started doing the live streams, man. This is kind of scary.
Yeah,
Very
yours
scary.
is just Sunday just gone, weren't it? So yeah,
It was like
congratulations for the years.
last year. It was a Saturday. Was the first time I done a live stream after getting asked like umpteen times and then finally having the courage to actually do one. It's kind of scary.
Especially nowadays. It kept a lot of people going, Baz. There's a few of us out there kept us going in bits and pieces, and it's how the community helps each other, especially like the guest in the background. The community helps all of us out.
Well, talking
Especially
about guests in the background, we do have a returning guest. So we'll bring on the super awesome geek, John.
Hey, how you doing? How you doing? Hello, everyone. Hey,
evening, John. Well,
I was
afternoon for
trying
you,
to
evening for us.
put a Twitter out real quick.
No, you carry on. So, but now it's like crazy, isn't it, Baz? Where it's like almost a year you've been doing live streams, and anything you've done differently, or anything you'd like to do, like coming forward, or anything, Baz?
It's actually a good question. I don't know what I would kind of do differently, kind of thing, but you've got Easter, you've got Halloween, you've got Christmas, man. You can always do specials on that. I know it's my birthday next month, so there might be some sort of stream coming up for that. I've not decided yet, depending how drunk I get. But how are you, John?
Oh, I'm doing all right. Doing good, actually.
Good, 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 good.
Just hanging in
Shabby might join on the last half, the last hour. It says you'll see if he can pop on or not. So
Oh,
hopefully
Shabby. Yeah,
Shabby will make an appearance.
cool,
We were
cool.
just waiting on Chris. He must be running
Chris
late.
could be late from work. He's had a lot of overtime and a lot of things going on, so he could be just a little bit late from work. Well,
It's gonna be
congratulations
weird.
on 1 year. Congratulations on 1 year. Here it is. Yes.
Well, it's like last year at this time, and I wouldn't have thought I'd be on like 240 subs. It's kind of the last few months has went a bit crazy,
Yeah.
kind of thing. But
The hurdle for me was 500. It took me a long time to get to 500, but after 500 they just started coming in, ding ding ding, every day, ding
Yeah.
ding ding, you know.
Oh,
And I've been stuck at this 2,900 spot now. It's been stuck there for months, and it just won't tick over to 3,000. So
right, right. How long have you been doing it for, John?
it's been about 6 years, I think, now. Yeah, yeah. I started it when I lived in Seattle, but then
Yeah,
there was a big break though. When I moved, I didn't do it for at least probably 5 or 6 months after, between moving down to Florida from Seattle and then getting everything set up down here and stuff. So there
but
was a little
sometimes
bit
you
of a
need a
break.
break in little bits like that to get it all set up, do it perfectly the way you want it to, instead of rushing content, rushing videos, that sort of stuff, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I want it. I mean, I personally like it when I have enough stuff where I can do one video per day, and I sometimes get caught up on that where like on if I have enough time on the weekends I can film 4 or 5 videos and put one out Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then Saturday comes around and I can film 4 or 5 more videos for the
yeah.
next week. And I like it when I'm on that kind of schedule, but lately it's been very difficult the way work has been going and stuff with my brother and and helping out around here with my dad and stuff. It's like it's just it I mean, I don't even have. I've got a dining room table over there full of stuff that I got to put on eBay and sell. And it's like it's little bits and baubles and little things that I find around town, and I haven't even done that either. It's like I'm just so behind
That's
on
the way it's
everything.
just time to do stuff, man. Before you kind of popped in the back there, John, I was saying to Dave, is that I need to start doing some more like normal content, like my pickups and my boot sales. But the
Yeah,
weather here has been really bad over the last month and a half. So a lot of people are not going to the boot sales, they're not selling
yeah,
stuff. So it's kind of hard to pick stuff up. You might pick like one or two items, but there's no point in doing a video just for two items, kind
No.
of thing. It's kind of a bit
yeah.
pointless.
You always
And
what 2 items you go on how you produce your videos and that sort of stuff. But it's one of the things, the dark time for the car booters is almost like November, December, January, February, March. Is the
yeah,
5 dead months.
yeah,
After that, it all picks up and everything else. And it's like you can rock and roll videos out every time a car boots. It's like you do a car boot walk around one day, you save it all for the midweek, you do a live stream. You get into like a routine, don't you?
yeah, exactly.
Thanks,
But
Billy.
there haven't been a lot down here for me to do that, and like quite frankly, those are the kind of videos I prefer. Like if you're going to do a toy hunt video, I don't want to see Walmart and Target anymore. I'm sick of
Yeah.
seeing Walmart and Target. I don't mind discount stores like Ollie's and TJ Maxx, and because sometimes they have weird and interesting things, or Ross stores, Dee Dee's discount. I don't know what you guys got over there, but it's like you have like a our
We got
we have
TJ.
TJ Maxx where you
Yeah,
have like something else, right? Or is that
we
the
got
same?
TJ Maxx. Yours is TK Maxx.
Okay,
Or
I knew
something
there
like
was
that.
one letter difference. Yeah,
Yeah,
but I think
exactly
they're
the same
essentially the
thing.
same
Exactly the
thing.
same.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Perfect. Honest, we got like B&M's or Home Bargains down
that's
where I
right.
am.
Yeah, yeah,
They're like clearance plate, but they only get toys in roughly October, November, December.
okay,
Same with TJ Maxx or TK Maxx.
yeah,
Other than
I
that,
see
we
you
don't
did,
get anything like that. Baz gets more up Scotland, where I am down. You know,
that was
it's crazy where the different areas. He's got different shops, different stock,
yeah.
different things. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
we sometimes see stuff at Big Lots also. Like they'll get
Yeah.
discount stuff at a place called Big Lots. So we got a few discount stores, and those I don't mind seeing because it's always interesting to see what. And then you want to run to the local one near you to see if your store has them as well, because sometimes you find really good things on a really good bargain. But Walmart and Target, I'm done looking at. I don't need to see those toy runs. And some people do every single week. They do a Walmart or Target toy run video, and I'm just like, it's the same crap every week. Why are you doing it? I want to see like car boot sales and toy shows and comic shows and those kind of things. So
see, it's
that's
like your target's like my B&M's and Home Bargains is that I go every week hoping to find something new in
yeah,
anything, and it's like it's a hit and a miss. It's like one week you can go and it's like, oh right, I'll pick them up. Next week there's nothing. Following
yeah,
week you'll pick something that shouldn't really be in Home Bargains or B&M's at the moment, kind of thing. And it's like, why is that? Why is it in there, kind of thing?
yeah.
It's,
Well, that's the ones I like to see at those discount stores. Is when you walk in and there's like a whole pile of Black Series Snow Troopers or something, and you're just like, what? Like when they're $3 each or whatever, and you're like, what? How the hell did this store get them? And why are they so cheap? Or it'll be like, no one could find, say, like the Kenner style Boba Fett,
Yeah.
of the 6-inch or whatever. No one got that. No one could find it. You walk into a Big Lots and they've got 20 of them on the shelf for $5 each, and you're like, how the hell did that happen? I thought these were exclusive or something, and some obscure store will get them.
well, that was just, was it before Christmas I picked him up, Dave, the Power Players? Or was it before that?
Well before that, dude, it was halfway to last year.
I was like, oh, I seen I think it was,
July, August, Baz, because I went on a holiday in September to Spain, and I was looking for them. Then you found them just before I went.
can't remember if it was Pixel Dan or if it was the other. I can't remember what the other
Pixel
YouTuber.
Dan's done them, and a load of other people have done them before, yeah.
I seen them, and I quite like the design on some of them. And I was talking to and they says, "Oh, we've never had them over here." And then I just happened to go to Home Bargains. Man, this is a bit further out my way, man. This is about an hour's drive kind of thing. Sometimes when you go further out, is it worth your journey going and not coming back with anything? But I seen them, picked them up. Then I done the live stream on that Saturday night, and he's like, I just seen Dave's face a minute from me, like, how did you get them? He said, I've been looking for them for ages.
Yeah. I think what gets us the most, Baz and John, I think where you've got your chains through supermarkets like Walmart's, Target's over in America, you got Tesco's, Asda's over here, where sometimes the little shops out and about have got the better stuff in, and the big Walmart and Target, you can't even find nothing. Like you said, you walk into Ollie's and there's figures in there for £5. You can't even get for 20 quid in Walmart 2 doors down or something, can you?
Yeah, exactly. No, yeah.
Mind boggles how crazy it is.
Yeah.
It's like at the minute, the Entertainer's got the X-Men crossover, the Bluebird. It was 80 quid, then it got reduced down to 40 quid, now it's reduced down to 30 quid.
Wow.
So I'm hoping in the
Which
next
is
week or
about
so, I'm
30
going to support them and I'm going to pick one of them up.
It's about $37, John. It's about 37 plus taxes, about $40.
Yeah.
Your money, yeah.
Wow.
You know, sometimes you get stuff on clearance. I can remember Batman versus Superman, the first film. They did the giant 2-foot, 4-foot play set.
Mm-hmm.
That one never got released in the UK at all. And even the Walmart reduced it to $25 or $15.
Wow.
And we had the one we got a year later is a recolored reissue one, which is
I got the big you know, the flying fox, the giant ship that had the, you know, that you could fit the vehicles inside of.
Yeah.
It's got to be like 4 or 5 feet long.
Yeah.
And the box is massive. And I got that at an Ollie's discount for $20. And it was, I mean, those were over $100 when they were new in the store, you know.
I think I found mine. I went to a bigger B&M or Home Bargains, like Baz said. Completely out of my way. They had one left on the shelf for about $30. I think $30, $40 it was. But it's the only place I spotted it in the UK.
Wow.
You know, this big Smith's toys never got home. It's crazy.
See, I'm just waiting on like Home Bargains or B&M. I know B&M's at the moment is got it's starting to get the He-Man stuff in. So I'm hoping maybe this year they might get some of the CGI
stuff and reduced stuff,
CGI one in. This kind of thing.
Hey, Baz, have you seen so today when I was out and about, and traveling Power Ranger fan, you might want to get in on this too and let me know. But today when I was out, I saw they have these boxed figures. They're in a box. You can't see what the figure looks like because it's totally boxed. But it's the Megazords, and they look to be 6 or 8 inches tall, like the box. And it looks like it's just a figure of the Megazord. And I saw they had the Mighty Morphin Megazord, they had the Dino Thunder Megazord, they had the Ninja one, and they had the red one with the circle in his chest, and he had a big ass sword and the shoulder pads. You know, and I saw those 4, and they're around, I want to say they were $15.99 or $16.99. And I'm really seriously thinking of buying one of them just to see what it's like. And if I like it, I'll go and get the others because they're the way the box looks. It looks like it's going to be pretty cool. But I want to know what kind of articulation you get, or if it's just a statue or what. You know, like have you seen anything like that?
I have seen them. I think the normal Megazord, Billy, if Billy's still here, might be better with this. But I'm sure like the Megazord, like the original Megazord, I'm sure it's just the arms that move. There is a little bit moving in the legs, but I think
I think it's
like
just the arms. Okay.
it's like if you go with the original Megazord, it's just the arms that kind of move. So it's like a scaled down version of that. And then the red one is basically a repaint of Ninja. If Rory was on, Rory would be able to tell me there's that name, but it was one of the newer series that kind of brought
Power Rangers Ninja Storm.
They kind of brought that character back, but instead of being blue, they gave them a red
Okay.
design.
Okay.
But it's like the Ninja. I find that still got like the morphing thing is that you press a button and the shoulder pads come down and
Yeah.
he's got like where his legs are. You can pop the legs down, but I think they're just mostly like statues kind of things, but they are quite cool. I have seen them in person because I've been thinking about getting the red Ninja.
Yeah.
I think the red Ninja would be cool. And that kind of, if you collect like the Lightning Collection stuff, John, like Ninja, because they have done the original Ninja as well, and they kind of in scale with your Lightning Collection if you want to, until they do a proper Ninja Lightning Collection figure. But
Gotcha.
I know Hasbro at the moment, I kind of had a lot of issues with the Ninjetti ones missing heads and missing bits and pieces, eh? So I would recommend them, but it's kind of yourself if you collect that kind of thing, eh? If you like Power Rangers, then yes.
The part that I like for most part, I just do Mighty Morphin for my Power Ranger Lightning Collection, but I do like all the Zords. I just think they look cool from many different lines, and so it's kind of like if I see a Zord that I really like, or a mechanical thing, I'll get it. You know what I mean? But it's like, as far as all the figures and villains go, I pretty much only stick to Mighty Morphin. But yeah, if I see a good Zord, so like when I saw these, it caught my eye because it was like, oh cool, you can get all the different Zords, maybe in like the same scale, and it might look pretty cool, But
yeah, the Mighty Morphin one is 6 inches tall. You've got leg articulation at the legs. The shoulders go round and the head moves. The paint job's not too bad on them, but the only thing I like about them, they've done the X-Men where they've got the old VHS boxes.
Yeah.
If you take the sleeve off, it's in a VHS box. So you take that out, it's the old nostalgia, like a VHS box, like the X-Men figures they did the Wolverine. That
really?
Those they're about 6 inches and they're okay. But the price value is better than anything else out there.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking of. I was like, it's an interesting size of figure for the price.
I agree, man. Is that when we were younger and we had the Mighty Morphin, John, is that you got the Megazords, you got the monsters, but you didn't get the monsters in scale to go with the Megazord.
No,
so
not at all.
It's kind of nice. Is it new that they're bringing the monsters out for some of the monsters out for the Power Rangers? Is that if you're buying a Zord, you've kind of got a Megazord to kind of
that's
to display
true.
next to it kind of thing. It's kind of roughly in the same scale.
Yeah, you could pretend they're
back in the day, the only thing Bandai did, honestly, was the 8-inch figures. They did the Rangers, they did Putty and Goldar for the 8-inch. That's it. Megazords didn't have nothing. The robots didn't exist. Nothing else existed. The only figures they did are the 5-inch aliens and Megazords for the youngest.
Yeah.
Even to this day, through the almost 30 years of Power Ranger history, I think there's only 4 or 5 either bad guys or robots you can actually fight now with Megazords of 15 inches, the big ones. But the small ones, the 6-inch ones, are perfect for Lightning Collections. The Goldar's perfect for it and everything else.
Yeah. Because those monsters, just like in Voltron, they grew, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They would fight the Power Rangers as small monsters that are human sized, but then they would get their power up and grow to giant size, and they'd have to form the Megazord to fight it, and it would. Yeah, and you're right. We never got a toy.
Yeah. Even Voltron only did small figures.
Yeah, and Voltron
even
too.
the reissue stuff only did little
Yeah.
figures about 6. I think there's one monster 6 inches, which, you know, it's one of the things the companies miss out completely.
You always had to get an Inhumanoid. Those
Yeah.
Inhumanoid monsters were big. You had to get those to fight your Voltron or your Power Ranger.
Technically, the only thing I used back as a kid, I used to basically get Transformers versus Power Ranger Megazords. It's the only thing that could match.
Yeah.
Where
Yeah.
you can have 2 different sizes and robots. It's the only thing that worked. You know, it's,
Or Godzilla.
yeah. Godzilla,
Yeah.
Ultraman, that sort of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It's the problem with this day and age with the collector's outfit or the companies that don't do anything to scale.
No.
You know.
No, not a whole lot. Yeah.
You know. Star Wars is getting better because Star Wars and G.I. Joe's the only 2 companies more or less out there that did figures for the range itself with Dino Riders as well. And the 3.5-inch figures for the actual
Yeah.
stuff,
Yeah.
other than probably Action Man as well.
Lately,
Action Man
though,
did all
they
the
haven't
vehicles.
had much like. I actually saw some kids in the aisle the other day complaining that there were no Star Wars toys for them. They didn't want like Black Series and stuff like that because they thought they looked too adult.
Yeah.
And they didn't want the Mission Fleet because they looked too much like baby toys. I heard the kid go, "Those look like baby toys." So these like 10 or 11-year-old kids wanted something that was basically the 5 POA figures, and they were disappointed that there's no. And I didn't think about it until that time. I was sitting there working on Lego, putting up the display, and I'm listening to them talk about it, and their parents are talking about stuff, and they ended up going down and getting like Fortnite figures and some other, like I think they got some Batman Spin Master stuff, and because they were cheap and looked like toys, like I think they were talking about the Batmobile and how they could put a figure in it, the new stuff from the movie,
Yeah.
And but it made me think. I was like, you're right. There's no. Right now, Hasbro is focusing on like the 5 or 6-year-old kids with the Mission Fleet, and then they're focusing on adults with the Black Series and Vintage Collection. There really isn't a kid-friendly line that for like 10 or 12-year-olds,
There is. I think there's the Black
That's
Series.
where the 5 POA used to be, for them.
I think the only cheap Star Wars figures at the moment are like the Black Series ones, but not fully articulated, like the plasticky ones. The cheaper versions.
Oh yeah, those little $5 Walmart things. Yeah. I know what you mean.
I ain't got it to hand.
Yeah, I think
But
I know
that's
what
the
you're
only
talking
thing.
about. But yeah, they're not that readily available though. They're kind of like
No.
a specialty.
Well, with these ones,
That's it. You still got
Yeah.
the 5 POAs, but they're still like 6 inches. At least it's cheaper for,
Yeah.
I say another thing, John, over here, the UK, when it comes to the last 3 Star Wars films, we didn't get much at all in the UK. Even specialty shops never got much at all for the Star Wars movies.
Yeah.
When I went to America in 19 or 18, it was, I came across the original trilogy films done in gold figures.
Yeah, the gold ones. Yeah.
Did they actually release all 9 movies or just the original?
I don't know if they did. I kind of don't think they did. I think they did enough for like the first 6 movies, but the sequel trilogy, I'm not sure if they did them all.
That's one thing I actually picked up the Star Wars film itself, the gold ones, and I was like, I know they did the other 2, but I wonder if they're going to do the other 6 movies. So, know any?
I just don't know. And I've been told there haven't been any figures for the Rise of Skywalker, like other than the Vintage Collection, the 1 or 2 we got. That was it.
I think the only things we had is about 6 or 8 figures, and they were $25, $30 each for the originals. And it was like a Black Series for them. Knights of Ren was one of them.
Yeah.
There's Knights of Ren.
And there was the Rey with the white outfit, the hood.
There's about 5 or 6 we got in the UK. That's it.
Yeah.
The rest of them, that's all we got in the UK.
Yeah.
I'll tell you one thing though, John. I did watch a video of that Star Wars hotel that's just opened up.
Oh yeah, I haven't seen any videos of that, but yeah.
Perfectly honest, it looks impressive, but I think they're forcing you to go back 5 times.
What?
Because when I was watching the preview night, the special guys that did it, they almost said it's like absolutely amazing, the theatre. It all leads up to a climactic finish. Because there's 3 or 4 different things going on at once, you can't keep up with everything.
Huh.
So it's like you can either be Sith, Jedi, Rebel, or something else. You know, the experience looks absolutely amazing. But I say it's like you're doing different things with different,
Yeah.
you know, if you're in a group, you're buggered.
Huh.
You know, you're talking to other people. It's like, do you see this, this, and this? It's like, yeah, we helped this person do it. And it's crazy.
Huh.
You know, it looks
I didn't
amazing
think about
experience
that,
though for 2 days. It really looks something different.
I want the price to come down before I go.
Yeah.
I can't go with the price the way it is, but
No.
See, I had the biggest problem I had was the stuff before. I mean, I got to watch one of those videos of people who've done it, but you know, now that it's open, but before it opened, when I saw the videos, I didn't think it looked like a Star Wars ship. It looked more like Star Trek or like Buck Rogers or something. I don't know. It just didn't. It didn't feel like Star Wars to me, and a lot of the games that they showed off were really hokey and just kind of simplistic. And I was like, that doesn't look like it's worth. Well. I was like, it doesn't look like it's worth $2,000 a night, you know, or what is it, like $4,500 for the whole to 2 days or whatever. But I was like, that's to me. If it got down to like $500 or $600 a night, I was spending around $1,000. I might do it, but not $4,000. No way.
No, that is just, I know you get the food included, but some of the food was a bit different and wacky.
Yeah.
You know, it's this couple I follow, Ordinary Adventures. They do all the theme parks across the whole country. And they got invited to the hotel. And even they said that some of it was overwhelming. The Goosebumps was there, the whole lot. But some of the food I was trying, I was like, a lot of people would be put off for the food.
Yeah.
You
well,
know?
That's how it is in Galaxy's Edge. Like, you can't get a slice of pizza. You can't get a cheeseburger or a hot dog. And if you go out, okay, if you go to a park or a ball game, you go to a football, you go to soccer, you go anything you do where there's an event, okay, and you look at the restaurants where they're offering food, the longest lines will be pizza, cheeseburgers, and hot dogs. People want simple food when they're out. They don't want to have some kind of weird ass whatever this is. They just want a slice of pizza or a hamburger and just eat it and they're done. You know what I mean? They don't. And that's how it is at the theme parks. When you go look at outside of Galaxy's Edge, there's a pizza place right outside Galaxy's Edge. It's packed. It's full all day long because everyone's leaving Galaxy's Edge to go to the pizza place because it's the first one you see, and then they jump back in Galaxy's Edge because inside Galaxy's Edge, you're not going to get anything. The food is terrible. It's just like, and even something simple like popcorn, they spray painted it purple and orange, and it tastes like Fruit Loops, like candy. Like candy cereal instead of tasting like buttered popcorn. So I'm like, why not just make it buttered popcorn, like normal popcorn, but make it look purple?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But the flavor
put in a
would be
purple
the
bag
same.
or something, like the clear wrappers for rosy sweets or something. You got purple sweets in your wrappers. Using a purple bag, be different.
Yeah. So, and that's the thing. Like, I was like, they could have had a slice of pizza at Galaxy's Edge and just called it like, I don't know, Tatooine. I don't know.
Almost like the fungus pizza, couldn't they? Like the fungus for Star Wars.
Yeah.
Put mushrooms on it, that sort of stuff. It's fungus.
Yeah.
You know,
And they could have called like a hamburger a Bantha burger or something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just name it something funny that's Star Wars related. But instead, they wanted to make an actual dish, and they hired like these chefs to sort of make something up that looks outer spacey. But they all taste terrible. Everyone, and no one's buying them now. It's like you go through the restaurant area and there's not a single person eating. And I'm just like, that should tell you something. And everyone is like leaving, because like Hollywood Studios is where Galaxy's Edge is. So you just leave the Star Wars area and you're in regular Hollywood Studios, and there's a pizza place and a cheeseburger place, and they're full of like they're packed because everyone steps out of Star Wars, has lunch at those places, then steps back in Star Wars and goes the rest of their day. And it should tell the park something that, this attempt at making weird food just doesn't work,
Perfect honest, John, I almost bid on one of your auctions for your brother's auction that one day.
Yeah.
Because the only thing I want from the Galaxy's Edge eventually is probably the detonator Coke bottles, but they're like, is it 200 ml?
What's that?
Is it about 200 ml the bottles, are they? Or 300 ml?
Like that, yeah. I think they were like 8 ounces.
Which is ridiculous. Yeah. And they're like $6, $7, $8.
They're $6. Yeah. Yeah.
You're paying for the nostalgia, I know that bit, but like as you said, you go around to the burger place, you probably get a full.
Oh, you could get like a giant big gulp for $2. Yeah, right outside the park. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, we only bought those like a couple times just to get the special bottle.
Nostalgia of it, yeah.
Yeah. And but the thing that's funny though is there's 3 different bottles, and I only have the Coke one. There's a Sprite,
Coke, and
Diet Coke, yeah. Yeah, Coke, Diet Coke, and Sprite, and I only have the Coke one, so. But the other thing too is when you're in the park, just look in the trash can, because it's funny how many people throw them away.
Oh.
You could have a bag with you, and you look in the trash can and just pull the bottles out and put them in your bag. And when you get home, wash them, rinse them off, wash them up. You'll get them for free.
You don't think of that, do you, when you're walking around that place? That bottle you thought you can't take home for a memory, but it's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, because my brother got a Sprite one of the times, and then I went in a shop while he was resting on a bench drinking his Sprite, and I went in the shop. I came out and I was like, "Where's the Sprite?" And he's like, "I threw it away." And I was like, "What? It was in the special bottle. Why would you throw it away?" He goes, "Well, I'm not carrying that around." So I went over to the trash and went and like lifted it up, and it was gone already. He goes, "Oh yeah, those guys over there took it." And I was like,
You never think of them little things, do you, when you're walking around like that sort of theme parks, do you?
No.
What do you mean?
It's like when you walk around theme parks, you don't think to look in different places like trash cans, that sort of stuff. Or on the side, that sort of stuff. Little bits like that, that's $8 to $10 there, but it's, if you don't want to drink, it's free there.
Yeah, it's free in the trash bin. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
I need to remember
that. Dave, when you go for your holidays, mate, I think you're going to have to hire a fucking plane to come home.
I'm thinking of it, so don't worry.
Well, you could always, like, a lot of times when I was traveling from like New York to Florida or Seattle to Florida, stuff like before I lived down here, because my parents lived down here way before we did. So I a lot of times would mail boxes back and forth, use the mail. So if you end up buying a lot of stuff and you don't want to like put it in your suitcase or anything, you could just mail it back home,
Perfectly honest, because I need to keep some of my clothes and bits and pieces on the holiday, before I get on the plane, I said to you earlier, I've only got 3 or 4 planes. I'm going to ship it before I get on the plane. So the weight and the thing stays down.
Yeah.
I've allowed for about 4 boxes to be sent home. So from when I leave, I say Los California, I'll send a box back then from that one.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then when I get to the next flight will be Cincinnati, that one. And then when I get to the end of the trip, I'll decide if I'm going to take a 2 suitcase home with me or ship it back there and then.
Yeah. Yeah.
No.
Gotcha.
But no, little things across the country I've worked out in bits. It's the state tax that kills me.
Oh,
You know.
certain states are high and certain states
Yeah.
are free. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like if you were going to Washington State, if you had gone up, there's no tax there, so it's like you're fine, you know. But where other states there's like 10 or 15%, and other states it's only 6, you know. So it's like it really changes depending on where you are, you know.
Yeah, I think it kills me. You walk into a shop, it's like $1, or like the Dollar Tree or the dollar places over there. It's like $1. No, it's like $1.06 with the tax on it.
Yeah, yeah.
You know.
And a lot of them are going to like $1.19 or $1.29, and there's then you're like it'll be $1.50 by the time you add tax, and you know it's
The only thing I like is when you go to a toy fair and it says $3 to $5 on it. You pick it up there and then, and just it's $3, $5. And when you go to like Walmart's, Targets, you know,
it's like if you go to like Walmart, you say for example, you find a record, it's like, oh, $20 for that. By the time you've bought that, it's actually cost you what, $22 maybe, or kind of thing. And it's like
it's because people in America are stupid. Like if you go some countries, like when you go, they add the tax on, so the price on the tag like already has the tax added on. So if it says $35, you're handing them $35 and you walk out the door.
Yeah.
Because it was really a $30 item with $5 tax, but the customer doesn't need to know how much the store is paying to tax. So they just put $35 on it, you give them $35 and walk out. But in the United States, if people saw $40 on that item, they wouldn't buy it. They'd be like, oh, that's too expensive. So they'd rather see $35 on the item than walk up to the register and have the guy at the register go, well, after you add tax, it's $40.
Yeah.
Like, how does that make any sense? You know what I mean? Like, it's asinine, but it's like people's brains just think that was $35 and they don't think of the tax because that's just an extra thing that they take care of when they get to the register. But yeah, it's like I'd rather just know the price up front and let the store worry about the tax, you know. Yeah.
See, that'd be kind of thing that would confuse me if I ever go to the States, is that you see something and then the time you've got to the checkout, it's actually costing more than what it says on the actual tag.
It'll be a lot more in some cases. Yeah. Yeah.
Right. Just before I forget, John, did everyone receive all their items from your live auction you did like 2 months ago now?
Yeah, as far as I know, there's 1 or 2 things that I think CJ had those posters, and he said that he never got a chance to send them out yet, but they're on their way. He's going to get to it, but he had some complications and he had a medical thing himself. And then I still have Scuba Pete's Mandalorian artwork to send out because I haven't found a box big enough. The way I got to build like a frame.
Oh, that big one, Mandalorian poster.
Yeah, to put it in.
Big one, wasn't it? Yeah.
So I still owe that to Scuba Pete, but he knows what's going on. He understands that I've got to build something to take care of it. But the one weird thing is that just the other day, one of the boxes got returned to me, and I got to contact him and find out why. It's got a big sticker on it, the red sticker that says "Return to Sender." So I don't know what happened there.
Didn't get the mail or something?
What's that?
Do you still get over there? Like, didn't get mail or something, or it stays in the post office for a week?
Yeah, something like that. And so I got to contact him and find out did he send it back on purpose, or was something wrong? Is this an accident? Like, so I can send it back out or whatever. But
I know there was a lot of work and a lot of stuff that day, but would you ever think of doing another one for your brother again, or in the
yeah,
future?
we got to see how things go. We might later on. Yeah, we've kind of talked about it, but between the auction and the GoFundMe page, he had like over $9,000, and he put it all in a savings account for himself. So, and he's only had to use a couple thousand of it so far. So he's still got probably 7,000 or so in there.
If people still want to do that, John, can still people go
They
fund
can
you
still
and
put
stuff?
in the GoFundMe. Yeah, we're not taking it down. We're leaving it up there. So,
And
yeah.
where could you find that information if people did?
I think it's actually in most of my videos because I kept a whole blurb that I just cut and paste into my description, and I think it's still in most of the videos on that. You can scroll down and find it.
So basically, just super awesome geek show. Search for that. Click on one of the links. It'll take you straight to the GoFundMe then.
Yeah. Yep.
So before I forget, has anybody picked anything new up?
John?
Well, I was getting those Clone Wars ones were showing up, but most of them have been. I managed to fix this one, but the bubble was crushed when I got it. But I've been sort of pushing it back into shape, but most of them have been crushed. Like, look how this even got folded,
I like the artwork on that one. That actually looks quite nice.
Yeah, I know. That's what I like about them is the artwork. But my favorite one, Alia, came out good though. That one showed up in a box, so they did one of them right. And I love that artwork. That's cool.
That is amazing, that is, isn't it?
Yeah, the blue looks so good. And then the ARC Trooper Captain guy is pretty cool. And then I got another archive trooper, but the box is destroyed. So I just picked them up to open it. I'm going to open it and put it up.
Is that the one you've done a toy haul video last week?
I think I did. Yeah. And I said if anybody wants, because there was 2 or 3 of them there, and I was like, if anybody wants some troopers, I can pick them up. And
I mind watching that because she's like, I think I might buy one for myself.
What shocked me was when I got to the register, these were only $16.99 instead of $19.99. So
that's all right.
They were only $17 too, so they were cheaper. But yeah, I mean they're dented and bashed in, so they're not ones you want to keep on card. They're just I bought it to open it, And then Hasbro Pulse had these back up, so I got one of the Stormtroopers from Rogue One.
Oh, nice.
With that backpack, it's got that backpack and the big antenna on it,
Oh, cool.
So I got that guy. And then Amazon had a deal where all the Jurassic Park figures were like $10. So I got Robert Muldoon and a couple other ones around, And my Falcon showed up for the.
I like that. I like the card work. I like the
card the retro Toy Biz stuff, and this looks really good, and I love the back of them. It's just like classic stuff,
Yeah. Some of their classics and some of their stuff is doing absolutely amazing.
But that's pretty much it. That's out here where I can grab it.
Nice one.
I got a lot of vintage stuff in the room, but I've got it set up to do videos. Yeah. Because that I just put up a video today about the Starcom Shadow Bat, and that thing was just freaking awesome. And I got another Starcom vehicle to do, and then there's 2 G.I. Joe, and I got the new Batmobile from the new movie, so I want to do that one too at some point. So yeah, I got 4 or 5 things to shoot during the weekend here, so hopefully I can get on all that. Hey, Rum, how you doing?
The man himself.
Need Delicious back on at some point. Might
Yeah,
have to
yeah.
on with some
I
pineapple.
said, all we need to do is get pineapple pizza. You know, I just want to ask Slices come one quick question. With this new Jabba's throne room coming, there's one little creature you can turn and cook. I was wondering his feelings on it, you know.
Yeah. Oh, his feelings are hurt. He doesn't want it. Yeah. Yeah.
I know they didn't show it from the live stream, but on one of the pictures I caught something just like, does it taste nice or something? I don't want to ask, but you know what I mean?
No, it'll make you sick. It doesn't taste good at all.
I know, but you know what?
No one, you don't even ever want to bother. You know what I mean? I mean, George here is going to get upset in a few minutes if you keep talking about it. Salacious George right there. He's already glaring at you. Look at him. He's glaring at you.
So have you picked anything new up, Dave?
Yes, which is weird. Something John might know, the NASCAR cars.
Very nice.
Wow.
You know, the full die cast. It's got the HUD removes and backup and bits and pieces. I picked up one of those. The James Bond, like Aston Martin.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
I still need to work on the batteries and that sort of stuff, but, you know, it's something different. And then the other day when I went charity shop hunting, they had a couple of original, like, Corgi.
Oh, wow. Look at those.
Original boxes and bits.
Yeah.
The old die casting metal ones. So I like the boxes.
Yeah. No, yeah.
Something different, I should say, I've been picking up. So
it's always good to get those packaging. Yeah. Because, like, you know, over here it was like the Matchbox originally came out in those little cardboard boxes, and then they went to the blister packs eventually. But finding the original boxes are really cool. Yeah.
Yeah, 1986 these are.
Wow. Yeah.
So, and basically the perfect honest, the vehicles are pretty.
Oh, that looks good. Yeah.
Yeah. There's something different as well, you know.
Yeah.
But that's all I picked up. You know, something I picked up a load of other cars and bits, but that's the 4 little bits I just picked out just to show something different, you know. I did have one Star Warsy one, but I can't remember where I put it. So it was like we'll find it in a minute. I'll show you it, but yeah, I kept it separate as well. But and then the other ones are like Batman car.
Oh yeah, the Batman car. Wow, that's the animated series one. That's cool.
But that's all I picked up. Just a load of cars and bits coming up for a toy fair.
That's a spammer person. You got to delete that somehow. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, them ones. The bot box.
So, well, I haven't got much this week for a change. One of the things I picked up is that, like I was saying earlier on, B&M's has now got the He-Man stuff in, but I thought it was the He-Man already had. I didn't realise it was the vintage head ones. Until Friday night. I taken a picture of it because the head, it looked different, John. And there's just something, I couldn't put my finger on it, but it wasn't until I come home, it's like, kind of take a picture, looked at it, it's like, oh, they're actually the vintage head ones, so. But I'm going to keep these ones carded.
Yeah.
And they're unpunched as well, so I need to try
see.
I need to try and see if I can get some of these clamshells that Shabby was talking about.
Yeah.
And then also got the Skeletor as well.
Nice.
And I really like Mini Mates, so and the Falcon and the Winter Soldier ones.
Neat.
But the only ones they don't have is the Captain America and the Winter Soldier. This one's Falcon and Baron Zemo. So I'm on a lookout for the other set. But that's all I've picked up this week. I usually pick up Merrimack, but usually we have the boot sale on the Saturday, but the weather's been really bad here the last couple of weekends, and it's not kind of. I went out no last week, but the week before, and it was pointless. There was only like two folk there standing in the pissing rain.
We have one coming up on the 13th that I want to try to get to on March 13th.
Are you called like flea markets over there, John? Do you actually call them flea markets? Do you call them something else?
Yeah, they're kind of like a lot of times there are some flea markets, but the flea market, like a flea market down here, will stay open and be there every weekend. Do you know what I mean? Where like the sales that like what I would say is a car boot sale are something that's not. They might happen every once in a while, but they're not on every weekend at the same spot. So those we call community sales. They'll have a so that town, like that's what's going on. One of the towns near us, their community sale will be on the 13th.
Yeah.
And then like in April, a different town will have a community sale. And then in like May, it'll move to a different town. And then June, it'll be in a different town. So it'll move around to different neighborhoods every month, and they'll have a community so that community of that town will have a sale. So that's the stuff that I look for, because that's when people clean out their houses. They've had stuff in there for a long time. They're just trying to get rid of. It's basically like a giant garage sale or like a big.
I know I've seen it on like YouTube videos. It's like some of them do a complete street of yard sales or garage sales.
Yeah.
The whole street community comes into it. The whole street.
Exactly, and that's what they're do. That's what they do. Yeah. Yep. So I'm. There's one on March 13, but it's probably about 20 minutes away. So I'm gonna hope I go to it. Yeah.
But the question is, do you find any treasure though at these community ones?
It's hit and miss. I mean, sometimes like there's been twice now that I've gone to a garage sale, like someone in their yard selling off stuff that I found. Oh, pardon me. Star Wars and G.I. Joe and Battlestar Galactica, and they're just in a box. Like the biggest one, the best one was I walked up and there was like a box full of figures, and there was a blue snaggletooth in it, one of the blue snaggletooth guys from Sears.
Yeah.
And she just wanted she was like, I don't know, $4 or $5 per figure. And I was like, well, how much for all of it? And she was like, if you want them all, just take them for $15. And I was like, no, there's a guy in here that's worth quite a bit more. I said, I should give you more money than that. And she was like, no. And I just said, well, to be quite frank, he's worth a few $100s, and I don't want you to find out later and feel like I ripped you off, and she was like, no, I don't care. I just want to get rid of them all. She's like, fine, just give me like $20. So I was like, I just gave her a $20 bill and walked away, like it's, and because I don't, you'd hate to find out later, you know what I mean, that you sold something for $5 that is worth $300 or $400. And, but so I tell people up front, and she didn't care. So she was it's just to get rid of it. And
it's one of the things. It's honesty first comes first. That sort of stuff, isn't it?
Yeah.
It was like last year when I got my walker for the Clone Wars. Yep. The guy knew exactly how much it was worth, but he didn't want the hassle of putting it online and then shipping. So he's like, I said, as much you want for it? And he says a tenner, and it's like, I know it's worth more than 10 quid, but he just wants to get rid of it. He says, I know I could get over 100 quid for it, but I don't want the hassle of putting it online, then had to ship it out, and then getting a message back saying, oh, there's a bit missing, or it's a bit broken, kind of thing. And I was like, 10 quid, I was like, I give him the 10 quid and fucking run.
I would buy that. I want one of those myself, That's on my want list. I hope to find it at a boot sale sometime. But the other thing too was like sometimes they have parking lot sales that are sponsored by like the stores. So like the plaza that the stores are in will put on a sale where everyone can park their cars in the parking lot and open up their trunk and I like to go to those. And at one of those sales, I got there like it wasn't supposed to start till 9:00, but I got there at like 8:30, and I just walked in and they didn't stop me. So I was walking around while they were setting up, and I saw a Ziploc bag in the guy's van. And I said, "Are those Star Wars figures? They look like Star Wars figures." He goes, "Yeah, original from the 80s." And I was like, "Okay." I said, "How much do you want for them?" He's like, "Oh, I'm doing like, I don't know, $5, $6, $10 each, depending on what figure it is." And I said, "Well, I'll just buy the whole bag. How much do you want for the whole bag?" You know, and it was a gallon size Ziploc bag, one of those big ones, you know, or quart size. I don't know what they're, but like it was a big bag. It had, and he goes, "I think there's like 15 or 20 figures in there." And he said, "How about we just do like $40 for the whole bag?" And I went, "Sure." And I just gave him $40. So I didn't even look in the bag. I was just like, you know, if I can get 15, 20 figures for $40, that comes out to like
$2 each.
$2 or $3 a figure. So I'm
like
happy.
$10. You said, yeah, like originally. Like,
yeah. So I took the bag and I went to my car and I opened up the bag and inside was a General Lando General from the last 17.
oh,
Damn.
So that's how I got my Lando General, you know. And
it's always the stories. Toy collectors. It's always about the stories and about the figures, and not the figures themselves.
Yeah.
It's like Baz. You can walk around Baz's room or point something out to tell you exactly where he picked it up from, what the weather was, the whole kit and caboodle. You know.
And the other thing is, like, I was at one of those sales and a guy had a big plastic tub and it was full of parts. Like there was the AT-AT and there was like the Rebel transport and snow speeders and everything, but everything was jumbled and in parts. And I pulled out the Rebel transport and I found the back canopy and put it on. I found the front, put it on. I found like the little thing inside, you know, and stuff. And I basically built it by rummaging through these bins. And I was like, "How much do you want for the transport?" And it was really cheap. I can't off the top of my head remember what I paid for it, but it was really, really cheap. It was nothing, you know. And I just gave him the money and I walked away with and it's right over there on my display. And then I think it was Mark at Blue Harvest that helped me get the little hatch door that was on the bottom. And now all I need are the guns that go on the back. There's 2 little guns, and then it'll be complete. And when I got home, I opened up the front canopy where you would store your weapons, and there was a Darth Vader with the lightsaber and cape, everything in the little hatch. So it was like, oh my gosh, in the storage hatch, there's it's a mint Darth Vader with like the lightsaber and everything. But what's funny is I should have it's like one of those things where you don't think about it till you get home. But it's like, since that was so cheap, I should have just said to the guy, "Well, wait a minute. If you're selling them for that low, how much do you want for the whole bins? Like, I'll buy all the bins and take all the parts home and sort it out when I get home." You know what I mean? Because even if he wanted $100, even if he was just like, "Give me $100 for the whole thing," it would have been worth it because there was an AT-AT in there. There was, you know, but like I'm sure the other parts were in the other bins, and there was like play sets, and there were snow speeders and X-Wings and TIE fighters. And even if they weren't complete, you know what I mean? Like if they were all missing 1 or 2 parts, it still would have been worth like $100 or more. You know what I mean? And I could have used it to trade because I have an AT-AT, I have an X-Wing, I have a TIE fighter, so I have the snow speeder. So I wasn't thinking along those lines. I was thinking like, well, the only thing in here I don't have is the Rebel transport, you know, so that's the only thing I need. But it's like I could have walked away with all that stuff and then used it to trade or help other people get it, you know what I mean? And it's just I should have just, you know, and that's kind of why I'm starting to think like if I see a whole bin full and it's not that expensive,
that's the right price. You got the room with the money with you, and just go for it.
Yeah.
It's like I got Snaggletooth, but it's the original one, not the blue one. I wish it was the blue one. But I picked up a lot of Disney, Burger King, like princesses for my niece,
Yeah.
kind of thing. And it wasn't until I got home, I was sorting out so to split it for the two of them, and he was actually lying in the bag.
Yep.
And it's
Yeah.
just kind of, it's weird that you pick up a pound bag or a £2 bag, and it's kind of weird some of the stuff that I found in just random bags.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
like, I'd rather pay the £2 just for that.
Just for that one thing. Yeah. Yeah.
You don't care if it's from in like the cheap pound shop or
Yeah.
or that. Because I think I picked up a wicket as well. There was another bag I got, and it was a cheap, nasty like army soldiers, like the ones with the holes in the head. It's like really cheap, and it had a wicket in it. The way thing, it was £2 wide for the bag, so I'd rather pay the £2 for the wicket than
It's bonus, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's crazy what people find up and down the country, all around the world. It's sometimes you don't believe them, do you? When they walk into like even the charity shops,
Yeah.
you walk into a charity shop and what can you find? A lot of people don't believe them. It's ridiculous.
One of my best ones is my friend Chris up in Seattle. He still sends me pictures of stuff that he finds while he's in the store, or he'll send me a picture and say, "Hey, I'm in the charity shop right now, and they have this. I recognize it, but I'm not sure what it is. Do you know what this is?" And I'll text him back. I'm like, because we're just on the phone. I'll just be at work. I'll be like, "Oh yeah, that's this. You want? Yeah, pick that up. If it's $3, buy it. You know, like if you don't want it, I'll take it. You know, like."
Yeah.
But one day he wrote to me, and he had a bag in his hand, and it was the figures from the Droids cartoon line from Star Wars Droids. And he had those Kenner figures all in a bag, and the bag was like $3 or $4, and there was like 4 or 5 figures in the bag. And I'm going, he's like, I recognize these. Are these from the cartoon? And I was like, yeah, those are Droids figures. They go for like $100 each, you know. And he was still in the shop with in all bundled together in one little bag, and the bag had like a $5 or $3 or $4. It was only, I think it was only $3 or $4 on the bag. And I was like, "You definitely want to buy those." And he was like,
"He's like, put them down. I'll be taking them." Yeah,
yeah. You know, and it's like, damn it, you know, because I need most of those figures. And of course, he of course, you know, like because he didn't have them, and now he's got them in his collection, and it makes his Kenner collection that much more complete.
Yeah.
So it's like he wasn't going to get rid of them, but it's like I'm like, damn it, I need those figures, you know. And then he found the mini sets one day, like the Death Star miniature ones from remember the miniature Kenner sets that they made?
Micro Machine ones, yeah,
the micro ones.
Yeah.
He found the Death Star stuff and one day, and he was like, this. I remember him sending me a picture like, this playset is the Death Star stuff, isn't it? And I'm like, yeah, it is. And then he ended up buying those, and it was cheap also. Like, I don't know, it might have been like $10 or something, and they had like all the little figures in there, and like the couple different play sets that hooked together. So I was just like, wow, that's amazing that you got all that. Like, it would have been worth it just for the little figures, you know, but he actually got the play sets and everything. So,
and also sometimes it's weird that you can, when you go to charity shops, and I'm sorry, Dave, when you go to charity shops and boot sales, sometimes it's kind of weird what you see, and it's weird what people are selling, and it's like, what, you're only wanting that for that, and you know for a fact that it's worth more.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, a lot of times you don't know people don't know what it is. Like that charity shop had no idea that was even Star Wars. They didn't even, because they're used to seeing Star Wars figures as the 3.75. So the little tiny ones, they had no idea were even Star Wars, you know? And that's the same. I mean, that even happens to me sometimes. I'll be out and looking through a dollar bin or something, you know, where all the stuff's like $1 and people just threw all this. And I find this old figure and I'm like, I recognize this. This looks like something, but I'm not 100% sure, but it's only $1. So I'm going to buy it. And when I get home, I'll look it up and do research. And when I got home, one of them was the Dune, those 5-inch figures from the old Dune movie.
Yeah.
And I got it in one of those $1 or $2 bins, you know, and I was like, I recognized it. I knew it was somebody. I thought it was Stiltgar from Dune, and I was like, so when I got home, I was excited. I was and looked it up. And I was like, yeah, I knew it was someone I recognized. I knew what this was, you know, and but it's just like I don't collect that line. I don't have any, so I didn't know what they really looked like in the real world. You know, I'd seen pictures, but nothing for sure. And so, you know, and sometimes like I got a dinosaur over there that was from like this play school dinosaur thing that was like from the early 80s. It's like 82, 83 or something. And it was the same thing where I recognized that dino. It was in a bin full of what the people said were Jurassic Park dinosaurs.
Yeah.
And most of them were from Jurassic Park, but then there was this one that just looked off, and I was like, what is this? This isn't Jurassic Park. This is something weird. And I saw the date. Was like,
is that the one with the thing? They've got like 2-inch figures, but they're like big beefy.
Yeah, they're big beefy figures. Yeah, yeah.
I know what.
Yeah.
I can't remember the name of the line, but man, they are.
Yeah.
I keep looking out for them because the dinosaurs look weird.
Yeah, I was like, it was like $2 or $3, but I was like, I'm going to buy the dinosaur anyways, and then come to find out, you know, they sell on eBay all the time for $30, $40. You know, so it's like, if I don't end up wanting it, I can trade it or get rid of it. You know, yeah.
They look like original Magic X figures. A lot of folk kind of
they kind of were. Yeah.
It's like a sub. You could say it's like a subline to was it Bone Age?
Yeah, Bone Age was a big one. Yeah.
It's just
the
like
figures. The figures are very similar. The figures are very similar to Bone Age. Yeah.
It's just like the figure I showed you earlier on, John. Like that one that looked so familiar to me when I picked up, and I could not find. When I come home, I kept looking at it, and it's like it's so familiar. What is it? I tried Google image. I tried Google search. Could not find anything. Happened to show it on the live stream, and Theo from Slimehouse found it straight away. Goes, oh, that's for my Battlehawks. I've been trying to find out what this was for like 2 days. I knew it looked familiar because as you can actually take the arms off, you can mix and match the figures kind of thing.
Yeah.
But even I've been told, get in the figure with all his arms, all his limbs is a bonus as well. But these are not cheap on eBay neither. Once I found out what it was, I Googled it.
Yeah.
Oh. We have the main mans in the house.
Hey, Aaron.
No,
hey, Shabby. How you doing?
Hiya, fellas.
How you doing, Shabby?
And
just a quick question for John. Just to let you know, over here, the charity shops up by us now are literally looking on the internet before they put the prices out, the toys out.
Some like Goodwill is now, Goodwill is holding back everything and they actually have a website now that they sell it all on. So Goodwill is pretty much done for running into a store and finding something. But we have a lot of independent mom and pop type charity shops that you can. They're not a chain. They're not a national thing. They're just like local to your area. So those are the ones that have stuff once in a while.
Right.
But my town, like I have there's a shop, a toy store, literally like not even 5 minutes from my house. So anything that comes in the charity shops in my neighborhood, he's buying it immediately. Like they call him up. They know Joey and they just call him up. So they're like, someone just donated a whole bunch of toys, and then Joey will run over there and look through it. So you don't find anything because he's buying it all, you know? And it's the same with the estate sales. Anything in our area, they call him up and he's there before they even open it to the public. So it's hard to get in on that stuff. And, you know,
we did it on the weekend because, as you know, we're in the furniture business. So me and Joe went to a small town in North Carolina called Carthage, and I've never been here before. And it's roughly about 30 minutes away from where we live. That's it. But they have these really old buildings. One of them was from 1857 that they've turned into flea markets, antique stores, and so forth. And there's like 4 or 5 in a row. Scuba's coming at the end of the month, so I'm going to take Scuba there and show him. But we walk into one of them, and as we're there, a guy just bought a complete Cobra Rattler for $80. Complete.
Whoa.
As soon as we walked in, I heard this guy saying to his wife, "Should we get it? Should we get it?" And I think the guy who owned the place wanted like 90 something, but he gave him 50% off and rounded it up, so he got a complete one with the missiles for $80. I was like, wow. Man. So I had to chat to him for a second.
That's the kind of deal I'm looking for.
Yeah.
The Rattler's the last airplane I need.
Yeah, I knew it straight away. I said to Jen, I was talking to Jen, but Jen, I don't think Jen was like,
what? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Night Raven's in the mail. It's on its way over, and
have you got that?
The Sky Striker's finally built thanks to Scuba Pete and Kokomo Toys, and then I bought that Conquest X30. So I got my. Now I need the Rattler. The Rattler's the last plane that I want to get.
5 minutes before John could have just got it for you. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Apparently, it wasn't even for him. He had the guy was about the same age as me, and his son's really into aviation, so he's bought loads of old toys that he had as a kid, and he stuck them on his ceiling. He was saying, and that was another piece that he's just going to string up. And I thought, for $80, wow.
Yeah.
Hello, Scuba Pete. Oh, what's
hey,
up? Can I say his name and he appears?
Speaking of, yeah, and the guy finally came through. I was really, I don't know if you heard about this, Shabby, but I paid a guy $200 on one of those toy groups on Facebook,
right,
to get this G.I. Joe vehicle called the Rolling Thunder. It's like It's like 4 feet long, and then the vehicle folds up. It opens up. And then these doors open, and these Trident nuclear missiles come out the top.
I think Michael Mercy's got. I think Michael Mercy did a video on it a couple of years back.
Yeah, he might. And so it's this rolling vehicle that turns into a giant missile complex for G.I. Joe, and it's freaking awesome.
I bet
it's got guns all over it, missiles flying off. I mean, it's amazing. But they usually sell for $400 or $500. Complete with all the stuff, and I got one off a guy for $200. He was like really nice and let me get it for cheap, so it was less than half price of what they usually go for. But I paid him the money, and 4 or 5 days go by, 6, 7 days go by, 10 days go by, and I'm like, "Are you going to ship this thing? Like, what's going on? You haven't sent me any tracking. There's nothing going." And he's like, "Oh, I'm having a hard time finding a box big enough to ship it and everything." And I'm like, if you put it up for sale, wouldn't you have the box ready before you put it up for sale? Like, why would you even list it if you're not ready, not prepared to ship it? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand. And it ended up taking like 16 days before he finally went, "Here's the tracking. I got it in the mail. It's all sorry it took so long, you know." And what's crazy is the guy has sold hundreds of stuff on this group. I was talking to other people, and they were like, "We've never had a problem with him. I don't know what's going on." Like, he's 100% perfect with everybody that he's dealt with. He's bought and sold. He's been in the group for like 4 or 5 years. He's bought and sold hundreds of times, and no one has ever had a problem. So I'm like, why am I the first person in the history of this group to have a problem with this guy? You know, like, I come into the group new. The first thing I buy, I have an issue. That, you know what I mean? Like, it was just like, why me? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
But finally, and then it showed up. It showed up within like 2 or 3 days after he shipped it. So he shipped it and it went really fast. He must have done it priority or over, really quick. But it's an amazing thing, and I can't wait. This weekend I'll do a video on it because it's like absolutely amazing.
Oh, I'll watch that. Definitely.
But I was getting worried. I was like right on the edge of complaining to the community leader and being like, "This guy's cheating me out of my money. Like, what do I do?" Fortunately, we paid through PayPal, so I could make a PayPal claim if he didn't do it. But
yeah,
luckily it came through and it's here.
So happy anniversary, boys! You look good for a year. You look all right for a year, you two. Do you know what I mean?
It's all bad, I guess. Yeah.
One already. Wow, already. I know 3 Men and a Monkey have just had their 1 year anniversary as well, haven't they? And
yeah, you're at the end of the month.
Yeah, ours is. I think ours is April. I think that's when we're. No, I think we've got 2 more episodes to go, and then we're 4 more. So about a month. Yeah, about a month to go.
End of April. I think yours is 31st of March, ain't you?
Is it? You probably
Well,
don't
I think it's the 1st of April, but I think you might have something done the day after. So
Right, got you. Yeah. So yeah, well, congratulations, a year. That's awesome.
No, it was last week. It was after I done the stream last week, and I was like, I was just going through the videos because I was putting them into a playlist, and I was like, first one, it's like, oh my, because that's a year, near enough a year for I started doing the streaming. I kind of like last year, it was like, it wasn't every week kind of thing. It was like started off every week, and then once we kind of go back to work and that kind of slowed down, and then you were doing it all on every like maybe two a month or kind of thing. But I says this year, I want to try and do at least it every week if we can.
How come today's is on a Tuesday though? We usually do it Thursdays.
Because Dave's away this week.
Oh, I see. Has Dave got a hot date? Is that what's going on? Has Dave got a hot date on Thursday? You sneaky devil! You in those?
I'm going past Baz on Thursday. I'm going up to Aberdeen on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. There's a big convention up there.
Oh, nice one! So you're going to get together and go? You both going?
Scotland Comic Con. It's like I thought it was in Edinburgh, like halfway away from Baz.
Yeah.
But it's actually up at Aberdeen, which is a lot of 4.5 hours from Baz.
Hey, Dave, you're going to wear a kilt? Are you going to wear a kilt, Dave? Go all Scottish for the weekend.
They have got all the gladiators up there, though. The 5-6 gladiators, originals.
I believe Jet's going to that one.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
I know they've just announced Warwick Davis, his son and his daughter's going.
Oh man, I want to see Warwick. I've seen him a number of times at a show, but I don't have his autograph because usually he's presenting or he's doing something, so you see him on stage, but I haven't been able to meet him and get an autograph, and I really want to meet him and get an autograph because I love Warwick Davis. He's one of my favorite people.
See, I would love to go to Echo, but it's a bit far from me.
No way, train ride 3 hours, you're there.
A bit longer than that, trust me.
I love the way they say about 3 or 4 hours is long, John. What do we mean you have to do? About 2 days for a bottle of milk?
Yeah.
Right? I think yours is about an hour to a Walmart, isn't it, sometimes?
Yeah, especially now, gas has gone way. What's it like in Florida? Your gas? It's over $4 now here.
About it's just like $3.89, $3.80. Yeah, $3.89 was the last time I filled.
No, the highest I've ever seen it was yesterday was $4.15 for regular. I was like, wow.
Well, the highest I ever saw it was about 2 years ago when Trump was screwing around with those taxes and the different things he was doing. It went to $5 a gallon.
I put $15 in it yesterday, and I just got just under 3 gallons for $15. I was like, what? I drive a Jeep. That's not going to get me down the road. You know what I mean?
But they're talking if things don't clear up over there pretty soon, it's going to be around $7 a gallon of what they're predicting.
$7.
I think ours is like £2, almost $2 a litre over here.
A litre, there's 4 litres in a gallon, so that's £8. So that's nearly $12 a gallon, John. $12 a gallon.
That's how much we pay for it.
No, okay, where I am, and the cheapest is $1.53. The dearest at the minute is $1.65 a litre.
Yeah.
Wow.
Aaron's saying $1.57 where he is. Yeah.
Wow. Wow. Ridiculous.
So we have a petrol station
where you are.
What's that? What?
Sorry, Dave, what?
You say anything, Baz?
No, you go ahead.
You got any charity shops or any charity shop memories where you are, Shabby? Or
yeah,
I know you said about the figures in your antique mall you went to once. That's all I can remember.
Yeah.
I always the nicest thing, and I don't know whether John can contest with me because John's just below me, if you will. But I find down south in America that when you do find antiques or you do find toys, they're very well looked after down here. It's like the Teddy Ruxpins I found were practically brand new. Looks like they've never played with. And the nicest thing is, another thing as well, is not necessarily you'll find all the accessories with something, but it won't be broken. So say, for example, if you find a G.I. Joe Jeep, the actual Jeep won't be, the accessory bit might be missing, but the thing's very well, looked after. And I've noticed that a lot down here. But I heard John was saying when I first came in about the Goodwills and so forth. It is getting harder to find. There used to be a time I'd walk in and you'll find an 83 Paplu Ewok or the Teddy Ruxpins. I always came home with something. But this weekend, like I said, there was an old Droids comic that I was thinking about. It was the black and white one, John, with the two droids on it. It was all black. It said droids on the top. That was droids.
Yeah.
And he had that. And I thought, should I pick that up?
That was the Dark Horse one, right? That was the Dark Horse.
That's right, my friend. Yeah.
Yep.
But apart from that, I didn't really find any. And it's funny that because we went to about 10 to 12 places. But North Carolina is brilliant for it. For antique malls and flea markets, it's really good.
So I've noticed some of the charity shops here, man, it's getting harder to find good stuff. Like it's a hit and a miss at the minute.
Yeah, it is. My mum runs the British Art Foundation in Lytham, and the nice thing about Lytham, it's very expensive, a very posh place, so she always gets really cool stuff in, and she'll always find me a Star Wars or she'll find me something else. And I asked her for an Action Man because I thought I haven't had an Action Man in years, and I think watching BTR and having Nick on our show, the vintage Action Man on, I thought one would be nice. So I phoned her and said, have you got any in there? She said, Shabby, we've not had an Action Man in here in about 18 months. Wow. I know.
Yeah, so like that for some of those things like that, it's good to have one and get the outfit you like and just I
think Action Man's one of those things, especially being over here. I'm never going to find it. I'm never going to find the accessories and everything else. But like exactly what you just said, my friend, if I get the one, I'll be happy with just like I said to our side, like a TARDIS. Because I don't collect Doctor Who, and but a TARDIS would be nice to have, So
it's a classic thing just to have one for that represent,
Yeah, exactly, just the one just to represent it. So
because I've got the two 12-inch GI Joes because I love my 3 3/4 inch GI Joe, but when I was I was up in Seattle at a charity shop and I got a whole bin full of G.I. Joe stuff. There was a couple figures, all these clothing. And I got home and I put together the sailor guy in the orange jumpsuit that works on I think he works on it's the orange jumpsuit with the yellow thing. And he's got to wave down the ships on the aircraft carrier.
I know what you mean.
Yeah. And then there's one that's wearing like camouflage military drab. So I was able to put together two figures and kind of have them in my collection like that. And then the other bits that I didn't need, I traded or sold off the other bits that I didn't need or want. So it's like those are my representative 12-inch figures, and I don't need to have a million of them. I just got the two and I'm happy,
I think that's how collectors are going now. I don't know whether you agree with me or not, gents, but the way Black Series is and Transformers and all these exclusives and all these conventions, I don't think we could ever complete anything now. So I think a lot of people are doing that. We're just finding what we
when
want.
They show up crushed from Walmart, they're all flat in a bag.
Dayton's, Andy's, and everything else. But talking about Walmart, something happened to me this weekend, which I couldn't believe. Right, so I've been. I'm a Black Series collector, and I've been going through, the shabby rants and everything else about the distribution of them and getting them and so forth. And Hasbro's always turned around and done these Fan Fridays, and the next morning you wake up for pre-orders and they're not there, or you've missed out, or they come crushed, like you just said, John. I went to 3 Walmarts this weekend because we did, looking for the furniture. We go all around. As I'm walking in the first Walmart, there's a massive display palette that they've put out, and it's 5 across, 4 behind of all McFarlane figures, right, for the new Batman.
Yeah.
So they've got all the McFarlane figures right there. So I had a look in them because I don't collect. Our size a big collector, as you know, but I'm not really a collector of McFarlane. But I have a look, and I could have bought then every character from this new movie about 4 or 5 times. They had 5 Batman, they had 5 Penguins. 5. Anyway, so you go on the other side, there's all the 3 3/4 inch. So you go on the other side, there's some T-shirts, and the thing was full. So I thought that surprised me, and I never thought about it till I went to the next Walmart. Went to the next Walmart. Same thing, big palette, all the McFarlanes, all the 3 3/4 inch. And it just surprised me. We've been told by Hasbro for all these years that it can't be done anymore. And yet the movie's out now, it's a big hot, and every Walmart I went to has this huge, so obviously it can be done. And I was talking to the lads on an Instagram chat, and I was talking to Andy and Scuba and our side, Jason, and I was saying, I think this is what makes people mad, that the Mandalorian seasons have been out twice. The Book of Boba Fett's been out, yet not once have the figures been out when that's out. But
I have a theory. Okay, I've been thinking about this for the last couple of weeks because of something similar. I posted pictures of the Build a Horse, like the other thing that McFarlane is doing, the ones that are not in the movie of the Batman movie, but the new wave has like a Joker in a white suit, in a white like dress up suit, and it's got like a Wonder Woman and a Batman and stuff. And you get pieces of a horse, and you can build this big horse that'll be a 6-inch scale horse or 7-inch scale horse for the figures to get on. And it's like you buy 4 or 5 figures and you got this giant horse. So it's like build a creature. And I was like, that's even cooler than build a figure. You know,
and it's $24.95 as well, John. That's it for the
and they're like $24.
That's it.
And you can get all the figures. You don't have to go run it all over the place. Well, here's my idea. What if Hasbro is doing this on purpose? Because think about it from a business point of view. Okay, think about this for 1 minute. Let me lay this out for you. So let's say you went to redo the contract for Star Wars with Disney, and you are the toy company Hasbro. And Disney says, if you want exclusive rights to make Star Wars figures, you've got to pay us, let's say 30%. Okay, 30%. Hasbro's thinking that's way too high. This is insane. A few years back, it was only like 5% to pay for Star Wars. Now that you think now Disney has it, it's massive. They want this much. So what I'm going to do as the company, as Hasbro, is I'm going to make it so difficult to find it this year, for the next couple years, that when we renegotiate, I can have numbers to say to Disney, look, Star Wars isn't selling. Look how low, look at our sales compared to McFarlane toys selling Batman. Look how much product they moved. Star Wars, I only sold like 10 figures. Even Boba Fett, I sold 20 of them. You know what I mean? Like, so then they can go to Disney and say, it's not worth 30%. It's only worth 5%. And then Disney might look at those numbers and go, well, they got numbers to back it up. If they're showing sales are way down.
Because they signed that contract this year, though, didn't they? They just signed a contract with them.
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
So this is what I don't, because I thought, well, I'm not going to rant and I'm not going to go on because I know I tend to have rants about this sort of stuff. But even that, it just baffled me, John. I just walked in and I just had a big smile on my face because you've seen it on Twitter and on Instagram, same as you boys. You've seen the people in our community moving on. They're like, oh, I'm no longer buying that. I'm going to buy this, or I'm going to buy Playmobil, Masters of the Universe.
Yeah.
You know,
or like me and Vinny are collecting the 3 3/4-inch Spin Master DC figures, and we're having a blast. We're constantly sending pictures back and forth. He's up in Orlando. I'm down here in Fort Lauderdale, and I'm like, look what I found today. And I'm sending him a picture. He's texting me, you know, and we're collecting them together.
On the other side, they had all the 6-inch. On the other side, they had a full thing of the deluxe ones at 24. So I couldn't believe what I was seeing. And then, like I said, by the time I got to the third store and I'd seen another one, I just thought, this is amazing. And the film's out now. So it means these kids or adults or collectors can go and watch this movie, which is great, by the way.
Yeah, I loved it.
And go, let's go and get one. And it was
I bought the Batmobile that comes with the figure, and I bought an extra
to open. I saw Dandy's review of it. Even I was like, oh, I think I might get one. I think I might get one.
Spin Master Batman figures. I'm hoping we get them out here because my nephew's a big. He loves Batman.
And they're only like $7 or $8 for a 3 3/4-inch figure with all those accessories.
Well, it's like I said, you lot have seen my Black Series collection. So first and foremost, but I've managed to get every Mold to Origins that's been on retail all the way up to date, up to Wave 9. And in that time, Jason sent me that one, and I managed to get that one too.
Yeah.
And I've got over 50 figures brand new there.
You know how long it took me to get this one?
I've never seen it.
Yeah, it was forever. It took forever.
And I might hire Indiana Jones to find me one of them, you know.
And the Bib Fortuna 6-inch. It took a year to find the Bib Fortuna. You know?
That's what I mean. It's and Jason sent me the Wonder Woman, and I did a video on it. And it's the first time I've ever had a multiverse. Our side's got loads here that he's bought from America that we're sending over. But I thought, wow, look at the detail on this. And it comes with a platform and they're all detailed. And it's 7-inch. And it's something I've never been interested, but I can definitely see what the interest is on them and the availability of them. You know, it's.
Yeah.
I do know that when Toys R Us was going bump in America, the McFarlane actually turned around to Target and Walmart and did exclusive deals with them to get the stuff in quicker. If I can remember rightly, back in the day, and that's why you're seeing.
I've seen that thousands of times. I don't understand that because a lot of people don't know who to blame. They don't know whether to blame Hasbro because we're only sending one case, or is it Walmart and Target for only buying one case? But the way I work it out is, as soon as your biggest toy competitor's gone, which is Toys R Us, if I was Target Walmart, I'd be like that. Right.
Yeah.
Let's make sure that we get them in, we're full, and nobody goes anywhere else now. Let's not get another toy company up and coming. Let them come to us. And it never happened. Yeah. So I was like, wow. That's
and the thing is, Walmart said that exact thing when Toys R Us went down. They said it in their earnings call, whatever, when they had that annual stock meeting or whatever. They said, since Toys R Us is gone, we're going to beef up our toy department and make Walmart the place to go for toys. But then they never did it. They said they were going to do it, and they never did it.
But it always feels like it's just Hasbro that's doing it. Like we've all said, Spin Masters is there, Jada Toys is still there, Mattel is still there, McFarlane is still there. Just always Hasbro that seems to be non-existent.
Yeah. But I wanted to say what Fuller was talking earlier about, like, do you think anyone would care about 80s toys? And what I'm saying to that is that, like, my parents played with Hot Wheels and G.I. Joe 12-inch and things like that. And then I was an 80s kid. I was into like late 70s and then the 80s stuff. So, but yeah, I care about collecting the stuff that my parents had.
Yeah.
So I think the same thing is going to happen. Like, we were 80s kids, and then our children are children of the 2000s, but they still see the stuff that the adults have. They see the stuff that their parents have. So the next generation is going to still be collecting it long after we're dead.
I agree in a way, because my kids are going to buy collection.
Just like after our parents died, after my parents died, I'm still going to be collecting the stuff that they had as kids. But the problem is 3 generations down the road. You know what I mean? Like, that's where, because like I look at stuff that my grandfather had, those little metal figurines that my grandfather played with as a kid.
I remember them, the lead ones.
Yeah, the
England
lead
was
ones.
Full of them, wasn't it?
Like, I don't see those anywhere now. I don't see them at any toy show, any sales. I don't know anyone in my circle that collects them. So, and that's, like I said, but my dad loves those figures because he remembers his father had them as a kid. So it's 3 generations that loses interest. But by the time you get to the third one, that's where I think the interest gets lost, because I have no interest in my grandfather's toys, but my father has an interest in my grandfather's toys because they were his father's. And I have an interest in my dad's stuff. So my child would have an interest in my stuff, but not what my dad collected, and definitely not what my grandfather collected. So when you get 3 or 4 generations out, so I think that our 80s toys will still be sought after long after we're dead, but it's when our children die, that's the problem. That's when they become worthless. You know, that's what I think.
It comes down to that, John. I think it comes down to, if, like, literally the new He-Man series dropped a couple of weeks ago. The cartoon. So it's new, coming up for the new stuff that gets the old stuff keep coming out. If they keep doing that for future events, it'll keep going and going and going for future like stuff.
Well, it might, but I mean, at what point do you think the kids magazine collection, at what point do you think the kids like only want the stuff that they had when they were, you know what I mean? Like, when do they go after the toys that are based on this modern cartoon, but then they'd look at the old stuff and go, that just looks too weird. I'm not into that.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Well, who's here?
Hey, lads.
Hey, how you doing?
Anything, BK?
Sorry I'm late. I was busy playing Xbox.
All right.
No excuse. No excuse.
I'm here now, aren't I, Baz? Better late than never.
Yeah.
But saying that, John, and maybe it was the longevity as well, because like I say, when our granddads, for example, or dads collect trains, whatever, yeah, that's been going for a while. But like you said, the things like the lead figures, they were in the thing where we're still buying modern IPs that are 40 years old, Transformers, Ghostbusters, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So I think that's why the longevity is there. And
That
it's
is
kept
the other.
with it.
Yeah, that is the other side of it. Those lead figurines, that kind of stuff died out. It's not like they're still
it did.
making them today. You're right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So maybe that's what it was, because there was a certain. I know in where we're from, lads, the lead figures are still pretty big, aren't they? When you go to a toy fair, there's always them, and there's always trains, and there's always and then I know there's a lot of places that still do like the old train sets, but they do that over here, I suppose, John. So trainways is still going, but
Yeah. But even them, even the train stuff, I feel like it's a generation behind me. Like, I don't know anyone my age who's setting up rooms full of trains. They're usually my dad's age that have like a basic train stuff. So
it's normally old folks over here. It's old folks who get old garages or loft conversions for trains over here. It's crazy. Here's a quick question for Debbie and John then. With Star Wars being 45 years old this year, can you see them doing anything special? Or like, do you think Hasbro got too many lines out there to concentrate on, and say, G.I. Joe and all their other lines? Do you think they'll concentrate a bit more this year because of the Star Wars 45?
I think they're going to put some kind of sticker or something on the packaging like they did with the 50th, but I can't see them doing anything bigger than that, because they're going to do... Well,
next year they will, won't they, John?
Next
year,
they're going to do yeah, they're going to do the Return of the Jedi thing next year, so I can't... I don't know, I think we would have heard about it by now if they were going to do anything for this year, because next year they're going to do Return of the Jedi retro figures. They're going to have the Black Series in the Return of the Jedi card back, and like they did for Star Wars and Empire, so
I mean, I think that
next year's their big year.
I think that Luke that was meant to come out with the Rancor, that excludes that HasLab T, I think that will come out next year. I think that'll come out on this card. I don't think they'll do the Power of the Force card. I think they'll put it back on a Return of the Jedi card. But
it will.
That's an iconic figure in it. So I think I agree with John. Maybe it's something at convention this year, John. Star Wars Celebration. They might say something for next year, but can't do it before. Yeah.
And then but the other
thing's coming up, isn't there, in a couple of weeks' time?
What's
the day before the celebration, it starts the 25th, I think. 25th, and celebration starts the 26th.
Is it? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
The other thing with toys,
45th anniversary, are they going to do anything special, or are they going to skip it?
Oh, I said,
that's the only issue for me. They put out so many conventions, so many pipelines, so many archives, so many different. It's finding them. They could give you a life-size Millennium Falcon. We'll never get one. That's what the issue is for me. I mean, it's again going back to what I was saying before. Star Wars has this first and foremost, if you will, it has the Star Wars tax, like John was saying. The licenses is more expensive. Yet it's the hardest toy besides vintage. It's the hardest modern collection to find. It's crazy how hard it is.
Yeah. Well, that's funny.
There you go. There's another thing. Yeah. That's what Connor's right in a way. I mean, it's the same thing.
But I was telling Baz and Dave here earlier, and I know we went before you got on, Shabby, that like Fuller's saying, but kids, like, are kids gonna want to collect? And it's like, and I was saying, I was setting up a display just about a week or so ago, of Lego stuff in a Walmart. And I overheard people in the aisle, and there was a couple of like 10 to 12-year-old kids, and they were looking for Star Wars toys. So kids want Star Wars toys that are in that age group, 10 to 12 years old. They want them. And the parents were like, there's nothing here. We can't get anything. they saw some Black Series and they saw the Lando TVC, but the kids themselves said, those are for adults. I want a toy for me. And they looked at the mission fleet and said,
He's too young.
The mission fleet are for babies.
Yeah.
I don't want a baby toy.
Yeah.
So it made me
What I
think.
mean.
I'm sitting there at the end of the aisle going, those kids are right. There's no Star Wars toys for the 10 to 12-year-old range.
No,
there's either
absolutely
Mission
none.
Fleet for 5 or 6-year-olds, and then there's Black Series for adults.
Yeah, the Ghostbusters have done it, John, because you've done videos on it. You know, you get your plasma series, then you get the ones where about $10 to $12. So that's for kids to buy.
And what the kids ended up buying, the kids bought some Batman Spin Master and they bought some Fortnite figures because they know Fortnite.
Happening.
So
that's what's happening.
It's like
I used to get so mad at it, John.
If Hasbro had 5 POA Star Wars figures like Spin Master size quality, they would have sold a bunch of Star Wars figures to these kids. But instead, they bought Batman and Fortnite because they couldn't find anything.
But we're doing that ourselves now. I used to walk into a store, but say, for example, just hypothetically a year ago, and couldn't find Star Wars, I'd walk out. But now what I'm doing is, can't find that. Let's have a look at Lego. Let's have a look at Hot Wheels. Let's have a look at Masters Universe. Let's have a look at Playmobil. We've all done that. I think we've all taken our anger and our frustrations and just moved on to something else because we are, in the sense of a word, collectors. Do you know what I mean? And I think that's what's happened.
Yeah. And I know that it basically makes, and I see it all the time when I'm in there setting up Lego, that there aren't a lot. All right. It's not like when we were kids and you'd go to Toys R Us and there'd be 10 other kids your age all looking for stuff. In Walmart these days, it's generally when I'm there, there's 1 or 2 10 to 12-year-old kids, if any, in any given week looking for toys, and it's like, so it's not like it was when we were kids. It's definitely less, but there still are 10 to 12-year-old kids that are buying toys and collecting these things and stuff. So it's not completely dead like some people try to make it out to be, like a lot of people want to say it's only the adults buying these toys, but I'm like, it's
like The Mandalorian, John. You aim The Mandalorian at families. It's a family show. So people our age, little babies, kids, mums, dads, grandmas, granddads can all watch it. But I always think it's like Lucy. Lucy got bang into The Mandalorian, right? And she never turned around and then said, "Oh, Dad, can we go out and buy the figure?" There's nothing. So how can it be a family show? And yet people will turn around on the flip side of that and say, "Well, it is adult collectors. Great. Why is it in the children's aisle?"
Yeah,
it's like that. It's everywhere. You don't know where you're up to at all. But it's like I said, Jude loved the Batman. So if he would have turned around and said, "Dad, I want a Batman figure," no problem. Get in the car. I'll go and get you one. As easy as that. The 3/4. And this is when it should be, because I remember the Mandalorian Black Series figures coming out a year after when Krill had died. There he is. When IG-11's died, there he is. And you're like, you've left it too late. You know what I mean? But I don't know. What do you say?
That's why I say things like, those Batman Spin Master figures, they're only $7, $8. They're not the best in the world. They look, some of them are like, Robin's head is way too big compared to Batman's head. They're both supposed to be the same height. Or like you got the kid Robin is the same height as the Batman, where he's supposed to be a kid. So he should only be, so I'm like, he should be like smaller. Robin should be smaller, but it's like, who cares, But I still say I want to see what Spin Master would do with Star Wars.
Yeah.
And like seeing those Harry Potters, I think you saw the picture, Shabby, and was showing Claire the Harry Potter stuff. That's Spin Master also.
It also is,
Look what they're doing with that. They got this massive Hogwarts playset and like the really cool looking anime style figures. So I'm just like, Spin Master is becoming one of the hottest toy companies, in my opinion. They're just doing everything right. So what would they do if they got Star Wars? You know what I mean? Like,
would you start again though, John? Would you start again? Say, for example, another company got Star Wars. Would you start collecting it all over again? I don't know whether I would or not, to be honest. Do you know what I mean? Would you start again?
Yes, because that's happened already in my life. Like, when they started, they had Power of the Force 2. Then they did Power of the Jedi. Then they did Legacy. Then they did Saga. Then they did Clone Wars.
Yeah.
You know, and that was all just Hasbro. And then they did Vintage Collection. And then they did 5 POA alongside Vintage Collection. So I was buying Luke 5 POA and Luke on Vintage Collection. And then Luke on Black Series. So yes, of course, if a different company got it and started all over, I'd be in, especially if it was someone like Spin Master where the figures were $7 or $8 each. You know,
perfect sense.
So,
and that's what they are, though. I mean, I don't mind the head being a little bit off. They are toys. They're for for us lot to enjoy. It's like I said, I watched Andy's video on the Batmobile, and I thought even I'd get that. But then my 10-year-old would go, "Oh, I'd love that. No problem. I'll get it for you." Do you know what I mean? So.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about for me. Is toys. We're toy collectors. You know what I mean? We're not. You know, this enhanced this. Oh, it's such a holy grail. It's 5,000. What? Do you know what I mean? I'm a toy collector.
I think Shabby and John, I think it comes down to space. It all depends how much space you got in your place nowadays.
Yeah.
It's not how big the place is, how small the place is, and anything else. It's the space. That sort of stuff.
I buy way more than
you got any of them little Megazords, pal? Those just come out.
Peaky. Dave was asking something.
Sorry.
You got them new Megazords that came out from Hasbro yet at all in the boxes?
No, I don't know whether I want them or not because I've technically already got those Megazords in the actual Megazord. Like, I've already got those actual Megazords. I think the boxes they come in, like the VHS boxes, are really cool. But that's all I'd want them for. I don't think I'd take them out the box. I think I'd keep them in that VHS box because I can remember having those like Lost Galaxy like on VHS when I was a kid. So it would stay in the box, and then the box would just gather dust.
I was wondering what the figures themselves looked like and how they articulated, if they had any at all.
I don't think they've got much articulation. I think like just the arms and their legs move, really.
Gotcha.
From looking at the pictures of them, I don't think there's much articulation.
That's what I thought, yeah.
They're not much of a toy. They're more of a collector item because of that articulation.
Because I saw 4 different ones at Walmart today, and I was really curious about them. I was like, these look cool. Should I get one? Or, and
What is it? It's Lost Galaxy, Thunder Megazord,
Mighty Morphin and Red Ninja.
Yeah, there was Mighty Morphin, and I think there was a red ninja looking one, but it was red.
Yeah. So that's that Red Ninja was a Japan exclusive for Ninja Storm. Like there's only like so many that outside of Japan, and one of my friends has it because he saw it on eBay and asked me to like if he could send it to my address so I could ship it to him because it was only in the UK. And I was just like, yeah, but I actually have the original Ninja up there as well. So I was thinking about maybe looking for another Red Ninja to have side by side.
Yep.
But yeah,
you got the blue one. You got the blue one, right?
I got the blue one. Yeah.
Yeah.
The only thing I'm missing from it is the sword and the sheath, but that's what you get for buying. Stuff secondhand on eBay.
Yeah, find it at a sale or a little eBay thing. Yeah.
But no, I don't know if I'm going to get those. Like at the moment, I'm focusing on like getting up to date with my Lightning collection.
Yeah.
Like there's still villains and there's still red and blue rangers that I'm missing. So I'm just focusing on those. And then once I'm caught up and I'm then waiting on pre-orders to come out, I'll jump back into my Megazord collection at some point.
Yeah,
I need to fill up.
You're also picking up Pink Rangers as well.
I'm not picking up Pink Rangers. I went into Lightning collection just on villains because I already had a Megazord collection. So I thought, right, Megazord collection and then villains collection because they kind of go together very well. And then I got gifted a red Ranger. So I was like, right, now I'm going to have to get Red Rangers. And then I was gifted a Blue Ranger. So I was like, great, now I'm going to have to get Blue Rangers. And now everybody in our group threatens to send me other colours. So I have to start collecting those. But what they don't realise is that I don't have the space for the other colours. I'm limited to this one room, which is my bedroom and my gaming room and my collection room. So everything is in this room. So I just can't. I don't have the space.
And do you have a pet? Is that a pet? What's in that little cabinet?
That's also my bearded dragon in there.
Yeah, right. So, I was looking at. I was like, that's a lizard or reptile of some kind, right?
Yeah.
John could have got you one from his backyard in Florida, no problem.
Oh, I know. I actually
found wild boars, the whole lot. Yeah.
Yeah. There's iguana. There's anole. There's chameleons. There's agalies or something. Yeah, there's like 4 or 5 different kinds. I could go out in the yard and pick one up if you want.
So at the moment, until I'm not confined to one room and I can eventually move out, then my collection is very limited.
Yeah.
Which
it doesn't even matter if you. It doesn't matter if you move out. You're going to fill the space. Because I own more stuff that I can put on display. It's terrible. It's terrible.
The Lightning Collection boxes I've got on my bookshelves, on display. I'm now having to think about removing the picture frames there to put more floating shelves to fit more Lightning Collection boxes. Because the boxes are now I've got no space for boxes. They're all stacked on the floor now and behind the bookcase. So.
Well, Shabby moved house, like, was it 2 months after you moved into that one, Shab?
Yeah, I've moved 3 times in a year, and this is the biggest room I've ever had, and I've got my couch in here, and everything's all, but I still got boxes in storage.
I love that. I love that Masters of the Universe Origins display. The way you set up those things, that looks so beautiful, man. When I saw that video,
focal. Yeah, but that's the thing. I mean, it's one of the best lines to come out for me in years. I've loved it, and it's got everything thrown in there: the nostalgia, the playback, to the quality, the price, everything. So I got so much stuff over Christmas of people, and it built up. And I thought, well, I think me and Lucy will just do a 5 nights and get it all out. And it's fantastic. It was right to the floor.
I binge watched it the other night.
Yeah, thank you, my friend. I appreciate that. It's been good. It was good to do, but
to be honest with you, I'd like to see your reaction for Castle Grayskull.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
that's what I was kind of looking for, because I think Lucy was more excited about Castle Grayskull than what you were.
Yeah, by Wednesday, she's going, wait till you see what we have on Friday. Yeah. You won't believe what Friday's got,
Those girls of mine were awesome as well, because I said to him before, listen, I don't want to just rush these videos. I want to make sure we do them right, because people have sent us stuff as well as bought stuff. I want to make sure that we do the honourable thing and do a proper night, get all the editing done, get all the pictures done. I said, so do you want to make 2 or 3 in a row and then just put them out? They said, no, Dad, let's just do it. So they're coming home from school, they're having their dinners, and then they're jumping straight on. So they did it all week with me, both of them. So I've got to give those girls credit, man. They worked hard.
Well, that's the other part of it. Like, not only do you have this great toy line in Masters of the Universe Origins, but it's given you something as a dad to work on and mess around with your daughters.
This is my point.
To me, has to be more valuable than anything. That this toy line the toy line can bring you guys together to do something that you all enjoy and get something out of it. You know what I mean? Like,
I have a table in here, and this is the only law that they have. If they're playing it, they have to play in here. So if they drop something, I can find it. So in their bedroom, it looks like a jungle. Got no chance. You know what I mean? But that's the thing about this line. If, for example, it breaks, or the $15, I'll go out and get another one. And that's one of the nicest things about it is, that's one of what you've just said is one of my favorite things, because I'll stop filming. Like, we left Castle Grayskull on the table, so they took the figures out, and I left. I should have filmed it, but I thought it's a bit personal. I didn't want to, but I came back in and I watched them loving it, and I thought, this is what it's all about. And I think this is where people, to me, are taking it either too serious or too much. It's about toys. It's about enjoying them. It's about playing with them. It's about, enjoying your collection with other people and admiring people's collections. And I'm really proud of those videos. I think we did really well in them. So,
Gary, just a quick question: did you watch the Super Bowl by any chance?
Yep, sure did.
Did you watch the advert with the Castle Grayskull advert, the Barbie advert with the Castle Grayskull in it?
Yeah, it was awesome. It was brilliant. It was.
That was
some
one of
great
the best. I sent you both. The advert says, "Don't stick to the end. Just watch the whole the advert. It's unbelievable. Well, they're using the toys now in the shops. It's amazing, isn't it?"
Yeah, like you said about
it was Barbie's dream house, and at the end they said, "Oh, you could also get this one." It was Castle Grayskull. It was brilliant. Yeah, it was a great advert. That,
like what you were saying about like being able to sit there and enjoy, like obviously like, when you're collecting, be able to enjoy it all. I grab Megazords off the shelf, and just sit here and just build it, like take it apart and just build it, and then earlier I'm doing a series filming a series at the moment. For each Megazord, I'm doing a video on each individual Megazord. I'm like doing a little bit of it. So they're only like get 10 minutes or less, the videos, because I don't need much time to show the Zord off and talk about it a little bit. But like I filmed 5 videos in the last 2 days, edited them, done the thumbnails, scheduled all the videos and everything. And I just sat there and I was like, now I just want to I started taking ones off and just started building them again. And I was just like, while I'm editing the videos, I'm rewatching Turbo. So then I just started getting the Turbo Zords off and just started building them. I was like, I'm having too much fun here. Like, I should be filming more. I should be filming more videos, but I'm just sat here playing.
That's what it's all about. I mean, listen. I'm a 46-year-old man, so I'm not going to start. But I get my enjoyment of the play factor through my children, watching my kids play with it, watching my kids, and the stories that they come up with, and you know what I mean. Who's kissing you, and the prince, and I just love it. I just love it.
Skeletor's the good guy, and He-Man's the bad guy,
But the good kids as well, because obviously I don't open my black case, so they don't touch him. They're not. And I think it's like what those kids said in Walmart that time to you, John. They're more of an adult thing then, so they're not really bothered about. But the Playmobil in the He-Man, straight in, no messing, and it's fun. It's fun to do. Yeah.
So I think even toy shows nowadays, when we go to the toy shows over here, I don't know if you guys find it as well, where the adults are now buying the kids' toys from their childhood. They're trying to get the whole kids' toys back from the childhood.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
I don't blame them. I mean, when you're looking at modern on the secondary market being roughly around the same price as vintage, I'd rather go for vintage. I mean, I've seen so many people go back to vintage and what they're buying, and I just don't blame them at all. Remember, these things as well were mass produced, so you're always going to find one. You're always going to, I mean, look at this guy up here. He's the expert of this stuff. There's always something you can find, and the fun is there, the thrill is there. And I'm starting to think it myself. When you're looking at a black series on the secondary market for $70 to $80, do you know what I mean? And I'm like, hang on a minute, I could buy Brave Star in a box for the same price. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? I'd rather have that than I would spend, it makes me sick. So I understand people have to make a living. I have no issue with that. I mean, I'm not going to sit here slagging off people that if they can sell stuff for 2 or 3 times the price, fair play to them. Do you know what I mean? But as a consumer, and as a toy collector that wants to do, I don't want to sit there one day thinking, I've been mugged here. Do you know what I mean? This isn't worth it. Especially when you buy that for $90 and then 2 months after it's on an archive card. You're like, what? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, it's like you've seen in a lot of my videos. I mean, like I'm going to G.I. Joe. I'm going back. Now I'm getting Starcom. Things I didn't like. We had 1 or 2 of as a kid, but I didn't really get into the line. I'm loving these Starcom things. I just can't believe I didn't get more of them as a kid. And and like I said, I'm getting back the G.I. Joe stuff that my brother and I had when we were kids, and a couple items that we wish we got, like the Rolling Thunder. We didn't actually have that as kids, but we saw it and we wanted it. But we never got it because it was too expensive. But it's like, now I have one, and it's like, so, but it's like that with all the planes, like we were talking about with the planes. Like I had the Rattler and the Conquest, and my brother had the Sky Striker and the Night Raven. Well, I went through and got the Conquest, and Scuba and Kokomo helped me put together the Sky Striker, and now I got the Night Raven on its way, so I just need the Rattler. So it's like I'm going back and collecting those things that me and my brother had when we were kids. And I'd rather spend my money on that than buy the new HasLab project or the new.
But it's easy to find them as well, John. I mean, I've said it on our live stream, so if you watched it and I repeat myself, I apologize. But when I've always admired G.I. Joe, always. I always said if I was a kid raised in America, G.I. Joe would have been bigger than Star Wars for me. I just love this line that, you know, how many there are, the vehicles, the weapons, how they looked. And so when they introduced that they were bringing back G.I. Joe in 3 3/4 inch and 6 inch, I thought this is great for me because I've learned from so many people, Scuba Pete, Super Awesome Geek Show, Andy, all about the G.I. Joe. And now I've got an opportunity to experience that. Now I've got an opportunity to get it myself. Yeah, can't find him.
Can't find him. Yeah. Yeah.
They do this big fanfare about, G.I. Joe and all that. I thought, brilliant. Yeah, Scuba will go out and he'll buy something vintage. You'll do the same. It's easy to get the vintage ones.
Yeah.
So
it is.
I don't blame people, like I say.
It's like over the last 12 months, Shabby, man, I've found quite a lot of the Action Force stuff. I've been finding vehicles, I've been finding figures, the odd little bits and pieces. And it's a thing that when you look at them, it's like, oh, they just look like cheap soldiers. I didn't realise they were actual Action Force until probably about 2 years ago when I picked up the first one.
What they are, yeah. That's the thing. I mean, listen, I've never classed myself as a vintage or a modern collector. I collect what I like. If I see, you know, one day I'll go out and find a Teddy Ruxpin, next minute I'll go out and find a Black Series. It's just who I am. I like that thing. I don't like to put myself in that thing where I'm this or this. Do you see what I mean? I like collecting all aspects of toys. I've admired toys for 40 years. I absolutely love them. Yeah. But it is nice when a modern line does come out to get into that line to experience. I've heard all you boys talking. Everyone says that the biggest percentage of us is nostalgia, is the collecting because we had what we had as kids. So I don't like that feeling of frustration or feeling of like, well, you know, that you can't get something. So in a way, I'm kind of happy this has happened with the Black Series because it's opened my eyes to Playmobil, more to what, you know, other lines, and I'm really starting to get into them, and I'm really enjoying it again.
Well, I was going to say with Playmobil, I can't get over some of the value you get because like I got that DeLorean and I got the Ghostbusters car and I got I got one of those space sets where they had the space. It's I got the rover vehicle and then I got the space station that goes on the moon, like the moon habitat.
I know what you mean. Yeah.
And I was like, there's like 1,000 accessories in there. I got like 2 or 3 action figures, like the whole base, but it's not just the base. There's like 5 cups. There's a bunch of like little tools. There's plants in there. There's like all these little like crystal things that they've mined on the moon, and you can put them in these
the firehouse was the same way. Much stuff in that firehouse. It was ridiculous. I'm like, open the firehouse. Wow, you know. I'm
like, there's 100 accessories here, and the thing was like $50. You know, like
I want to show you something.
If Hasbro made a playset with 50 accessories, it'd be $200. Oh wait, it is. The Jabba's Palace is $200.
It's like I want the 18 van when it comes over here.
Yeah, and they've got Night Rider's car coming out. But I think that's what it is. I think it's like these, for example. So I put the firehouse up, and I thought I'd like to make a New York scene here. You know, like put a picture of New York and get. So I went out and bought some constructors and stuff like. Well, you get all that.
Yeah.
Under $10. And you can get a carry case with it. So then I bought a police bike and that was $7 for all that.
Jeez.
And then for $19.99, and I couldn't pass it up really, but I don't know why I bought it, but it's cool. I bought a big fire truck. And it comes with all that.
That's got lights and sound as well.
And lights up when you press the button. It lights up as well.
Wow.
Same thing here. This was $14.99, and look at all that.
Wow.
So I'm banging into this.
The number of accessories and little bits that you get is just unbelievable.
And the same size as Star Wars figures, which makes it worse.
The thing is, Dave, I've just got 4 packs right there with countless accessories, vehicles, accessories, about 10 figures and all, under $45 for all of it.
And Hasbro will charge you $229
You know.
It'll be like Lego
accessories.
cities, but I think Shabby's going to do a Playmobil city.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do with Playmobil over behind me where they've done the Masters Universe. I'm gonna do, if I turn it round, my camera might act up, so I apologise, boys. But that's where I put my Playmobil. So it's gonna be another shelf there full of that too. But what's coming is the Asterix and Obelix line at the end of March, April.
Yeah.
And I'm getting all of that. So I thought if I set that up now, do you know what I mean? Hopefully it'll come out in America. I heard Thousand Skulls talking about it with Blue Harvest, and I thought, well, that might be cool.
At the very least, you could order it off their website. You know what I mean?
Or Si can get it for me as well.
Yeah,
so because Si went into Smith's, John, and they've got a massive aisle of Playmobil. Massive, all play, but they don't do it over it because it's not really much of a big seller. It's funny as well, John, because besides a couple of us, I know Geek Strong does, I know you do, I know I do. There's not that many Americans that have Playmobil channels because they're all roughly usually foreign or they're really aimed at really young children. There's no one like us doing it, if you will. So I'm kind of glad that us lads have started to get it or started to make videos of it. So
I think what's going to really help though is getting the license stuff like that Star Trek Enterprise. You know what I mean? Like that's really making a buzz along the collectors, especially in the Star Trek and Star Wars community. And then like we said, it started out slow because we had the Mystery Machine and the Scooby stuff, and that kind of was But then we got the DeLorean, and then we got the Ghostbusters, and now we got A-Team and Knight Rider. You know what I mean? Like, and we're all going to want that A-Team van. We're all going to want that Knight Rider thing. And it's like the cars are becoming the thing. Like, I can collect the Ghostbuster mobile, the DeLorean, the Mystery Machine, the A-Team van, the Knight Rider, James Bond's Aston Martin. Like, now I can get all the classic cars from all the shows and movies and television I loved in one line, the Playmobil line, so it all matches. And I mean, like, just wait till they get a Batmobile. Just wait till they get Airwolf. You know what I mean? Like,
I think that's what the best thing they've done is get these licenses because now they've got them, and now they know that our age, because they've hit the 80s with the DeLorean, with the Scooby-Doo van, the Knight Rider, we're buying them. I mean, you can get James Bond's DB5. When you're going to find a figure of Oddjob, and there he is in that packet, you're like, what the France? This is awesome, you know. So brilliant.
I don't know if you've seen the Dino Rider style ones for Playmobil yet.
Yep, seen them too. They're fantastic. What I'm going to do though is because I never had it as a kid. I've said it in my videos. I've never had it. I remember my cousins had it, and we went to their house once, and they had the hospital set. And I was only young, but I remember it. I remember, wow, this is awesome. But it was I was always action figures, you know, your He-Man, your Star Wars, and so forth. And the only reason I got into it, the only reason it was because I watched John's video on the Back to the Future and thought, that's awesome. What a great car that is. And I saw it in Walmart for $26. That's all it was. And I've never seen Playmobil in Walmart. So I thought, I'll buy it. I'll do a video on myself. And I tell you what, I would have paid $50 for it. It was that good. All the accessories that come with it, everything else that it lights up. The only thing it doesn't make the sound, but the Ghostbusters one makes the sound. So I went out and bought that, and now I'm completely hooked. I'm hooked on it. You know what I mean?
I love Dan. The John just called the actual one the Ghostbusters mobile.
That's what all the cool kids call it, Dan. What are you talking about?
Just glad Dave's Dimension wasn't here.
What did Jamie say?
I am. I'm gonna love you and leave you all because I do have work in the morning. So
all right, man. It's nice to see you.
I love your collection, man. I love that row of Megazords. You make me jealous.
So the Megazords, I'll grab my camera. So the Megazords start
in making big.
Corner.
Yep.
Making big.
There you go.
Megazords start in that far corner, goes all along there, and it goes all above my desk.
Yeah. That's what I love. I love when you turn around and see this stuff. And the Zelda shield on the wall that just adds a plus. Yeah.
Got the Harugan shield there. I've got a lightsaber there.
Yeah.
I like the cap collection.
I love it. I love it.
All my hats go above above where I sit as well.
The curtains at the back? The curtains at the back, what are they?
They're Marvel.
Oh, because they look like my Star Wars ones. Look,
Yeah, no, they're Marvel ones. I'm taking them down at some point because I never draw them. I've got a set of blinds in my window, and the blinds are always closed, and the curtains are always like that. So
put a shelf in front. That's what I did.
That's what I did there.
My
That's
toy room
massive
window
behind there. And covered them.
I can't because right underneath my window is a radiator.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
We'll make space
forgot
for you,
about
don't worry.
that,
Yeah,
So I can't block the radiator off.
and it'll ruin the
would.
figures from the radiated heat and everything. Yeah, you don't want to
yeah.
do that.
Oh, like that. Melted.
Yeah.
But have a good night, everyone. And Baz, congratulations on 1 year of doing live streams.
Thanks, Chris.
Thanks for coming on and putting up with me for all this time.
I mean, I've been friends with you for longer than a year, so you know, it's you who should be getting a well done for putting up with me. But have a good night, lads.
Bye-bye.
Good night, mate.
See ya.
What do you like?
It's like with the Playmobil, man. I've been looking at the dinosaur one, Shabby, and I've been kind of tempted
Yeah.
to pick one of them up.
Well, I got the Stegosaurus one, and I got to tell you, the dinosaur, because I love Stegosaurus and Triceratops and Ankylosaur and Kylosaurs. You know, I love those kind of dinosaurs, and the Stegosaurus is awesome. I just say the Playmobil version of the dinosaur is just really, really cool.
Yeah.
And it does make me kind of want to get the rest. I'm like, man, I want to get some more of these because I found it. It was the same thing. Like I was just out and I saw it for like $10 or $15 on sale. And I was like, that looks cool. And it's so cheap. I'll just get it. And then
it's brought my mojo back as well. You know, instead of getting frustrated all the time, I can't find this and all that. It's I'm really enjoying it. Do you know what I mean? It's great going out and finding a new. And like I say, the Asterix and Obelix line. Oh, I love those books. Remember, we all read them as kids, didn't we, lads? Let's be honest.
And
so,
could you imagine if
really,
they done like a Thundercat line or a fucking He-Man or a G.I. Joe or something like that? You can just see how many people would actually. Because I would buy it if they bought He-Man or Thundercats or G.I. Joe. I would go for that kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's the line I'm always going to buy from now on. I'm always going to pick something up. I'm not going to go mad because when I saw they have a line called Novelmore, which is all knights and dragons, and I thought, and then I realized, Sammy, that's going to cost a fortune buying all that. So I'm going to do what John says: buy the vehicles, buy the pop culture stuff like the Ghostbusters and stuff that I enjoy, Scooby Doo, Back to the Future, and it's easy to get. That's the thing. You just go on Amazon, you go on the thing, boom, there it is, done. It's here in 2 days, not waiting 8 months for a figure. You know, it's like,
it takes away the collecting, doesn't it, guys? Because basically it comes down to the thrill of the hunt, going out and finding something, and that sort of stuff, isn't it?
Well, that's gone full circle. What I said before, David, going in and seeing all those McFarlane toys on a display when the movie is out, it was so refreshing to me, mate. I just thought, this is awesome. You know, this is exactly how it felt when we first started to collect. This is why we collect stuff like this. So
yeah.
Mr. Reynolds.
How you doing?
Weirdly enough, we're almost coming up to the end. So, guys, where can we actually find you? And if anyone wants to get in touch or anything like that, John?
Oh, Super Awesome Geek Show on YouTube. And let's see, it's Awesome Geek Show on Twitter. I think on Instagram and Facebook, it's still the whole thing, Super Awesome Geek Show. Yeah. And if you go to any of the videos on YouTube, I just cut and paste a whole thing, and it's got all the links and all the stuff to everything in the description of every video. So you should be able to find it all in there.
So if people still want to help your brother John out, that sort of stuff, they can still donate and.
Oh yeah.
How's your Mark doing, John? How's he doing? Is he doing good?
Yeah, for the most part. I mean, it's up and down. Mark. So my brother has cancer. He's got bladder cancer, and the bladder cancer, he had to have his kidneys removed. The cancer took his kidneys. He had to have them surgically removed. The bladder was surgically removed. The prostate and a bunch of other stuff down there, no lymph nodes and different things. All that was surgically removed. But then the cancer moved into his blood. It's gone into his bones, and it's gone into his lungs. So he has 3 tumors in his lungs. and you can't take out your lungs. Like you need those to breathe, so you can't take them out. So they're going to do immunotherapy to get the cancer in the lungs. There's 3 tumors, and he started that this past week. And then they're doing radiation. He's got a tumor in his leg, in the bone of his leg, and they're doing radiation to get that tumor. And that he started yesterday. And
Right.
he's gonna go back Wednesday, and then from Wednesday on, it's 10 to 12 days of radiation every day for 15 minutes a day to zap that tumor in his leg. And the tumor in his leg was so bad that it actually broke the bone and shattered his thigh bone. And it's so busted and broken that they actually had to rebuild his leg with metal titanium parts. So now he has a titanium thing up in his hip, and then they put a rod in instead of the bone going down to his knee, and then he's got titanium clamps in there to rebuild that, and it's all bolted together. So essentially his left leg is now half cyborg. It's half robotic. And it's
we'll have to
all
start calling him Murphy, John. We'll start calling him Murphy.
And
do you know what I mean?
what's kind of fascinating is they cut a slit at the top by his waist and a slit at the bottom by his knee, and fed it all in, like they hollowed it out and then fed all the stuff in during the surgery. So they didn't actually have to like cut his leg open and do it. They just slid it into these little holes. So it's fascinating how they do this stuff, but at the same time, it's scary as hell because from a big brother point of view, like from me as a brother, it's kind of like he's got 4 tumors right now, and it's in his blood, in his bones, in all of his organs. It was so bad he had to have his kidneys, bladder, prostate, all that's been surgically removed. Like, how much can a human body take?
Exactly.
You know,
if I was going through this, if it was my brother, I'd be in pieces. You've been so strong, John. You've been awesome.
It's been a nightmare for me because I just don't know if, I look at people like Chadwick Boseman, who was the Black Panther, and it's like the guy was a millionaire from his movies, and he has the best care in the world, and he died from complications to cancer, from a similar cancer to what my brother has. So it's just kind of like, and it's one day to the next, you know what I mean? Like, you can see the person, they can look totally fine and be talking to you like normal, and the next day they're dead. So it's like, it's that kind of thing that it's got me worked up and worried sick about, like I don't want to wake up one day and just have it like, oh, the cancer got him, he's gone, and
well, we're all thinking of him, and we're also, you know what I mean, that's how he is, and the community bonds together, doesn't it? So that's awesome.
And we're just so thankful that the community helped out as much as they did, because he's already had to use a few $1,000s of what people donated to him and helped out with that auction.
Well, that's what it was there for, John, wasn't it? So
yeah, and he's got a few thousand left in the savings account for future things. Brilliant. Because some of these, like, they sent, when he got his leg rebuilt, they sent us the bill $208,000 to get that leg rebuilt. $200,000. But luckily, for some reason, the insurance paid for that. And then, but they wouldn't pay for his medication, which cost.
I was going to say, there's always something they don't pay for.
He's got this medication. He's got to take this medication every single time he eats food, because he doesn't have kidneys or a bladder, he doesn't make the enzymes to break down phosphorus and potassium, things like that. So, like, your body makes something that binds with phosphorus and binds with potassium, so that it then becomes a molecule that you can use for your body. But if you don't have kidneys and you don't have this stuff in there, it won't create that. So the potassium and phosphorus becomes a poison on its own. It's poisonous to us. So if he eats anything like a sandwich, he will die. It's just, you're dead, because the phosphorus will kill you. So he has to eat a binding agent with his sandwich. He has to eat something. And that agent, that drug that he takes, the pills, costs $1,700 a month. And after a while, the insurance company just said, nope, we're not going to pay for him anymore. And he's like, if I don't take it, I will die. Like, how can you refuse to let me have my medication? You know, and so we've had to use some of the money for that because you don't have a choice. If you want to eat food, you got to have this medication, you know?
Yeah.
And it's just stupid that the insurance companies can be like, nope, we don't want to pay for that anymore, because it's just like, and you got to laugh sometimes because you're just like, that's so ridiculous. Like, it's, you need it to live. Like, how can you?
Bill, yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Right.
I know it's always those bills.
Shabby, how can we find you, sir?
Easy peasy lemon squeezy, Mr. David. It is Mark Shabby Geek. We do a YouTube channel here, but can I do a bit of promotion if that's all right? Do you not mind, Baz?
Go for it.
Our side's done a big Joker art giveaway. I mean, he's drawn Brian Bourne's Joker, and he's giving it away. Which, if you've seen our size work, it speaks for itself. You know what I mean?
It's fantastic,
and it's massive. It's like 24 by 22. It's already framed. There's a video that we made called Wonder Woman and the Joker giveaway. All you've got to do is like, subscribe, comment on that video with the hashtag Joker, and then you're in to win it. And you've got till this Friday, the cut-off date, because we're going to do the wheel the week after. So go to Mark Shabby Geek, look at the Wonder Woman and Joker giveaway, have a look at what our side's done. It's, believe it, I hope I win it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but it's all around the world.
I call it rigged.
Yeah.
It's rigged.
I know. Look,
Yeah,
it's unbelievable.
The UK.
Yeah, our site, bless him, and it's proper framed. If you look at my, if you look at that video, you'll see the actual what it looks like. And it blows me away what it looks like. And he said, our Simon is. I mean, he's. Listen, I love this guy. He's been so supportive in what he's done. He said he'll ship it anywhere around the world. So if someone in Timbuktu wins it, our side's going to send it to him. So framed as well. So
that Joker picture is amazing. Like, because I've watched the video.
Yeah,
he's amazing. I can't draw for toffee, honestly, mate. My wife is very, very talented. She does all our hand painted furniture and so forth. And our size and my kids are as well, but mate, I draw like a 4-year-old. Really great.
There's a lot of talent. Claire is also very talented.
Claire's very talented.
You're surrounded by artists, but you yourself, you're just like
I'm having a great time. Just keep bringing it in. No. But that was also our side just said, we're not a big channel. I've got 680 subs, which is awesome. But we have fun. It's a good channel. We have a laugh. We have a joke, and we collect toys. And our side just said, do you want to have this to give away? And I was like, what? Do you know what I mean? And so we give it us. And yeah, so fingers crossed somebody we know wins it. So
sorted. Yeah. Well, to find me, I'm Dave World Toys on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, like the picture says behind you. Guy, if you're around tomorrow, Toy Division's got a couple of special guests on the Toy Division, which is Aaron's channel.
Yeah.
Empire Toys 1138. I'll see on tomorrow.
Who's on there? Who's the special guests on there, Dave?
I think Rise on and Eggs Retro Geek Out from Belgium.
Yeah, well, I'll give them a watch.
They're on tomorrow because I know Ed's Retro Geek Out over in the UK next week for a week to do toy fairs and shopping.
Got you.
And he's quite a big one. So our next live stream will be the 17th of March with a NEC Toy Fair Dealer Special. So that's that. The week after is a double Star Wars header with 24 Star Wars, and there might be a giveaway in that as well. The Star Wars one. You need to stay tuned. I'm going to speak to Shabby off stream as well about something. I want to speak to Shabby about something extra as well.
Something naked.
Yeah. Baz, thank you so much for the last year. It's been amazing. It's been something different, and thank you so much.
It's been awesome.
So, Baz, lead us out, mate. What you normally do with your croaky voice.
Well, you can find me on.
How come your voice is croaky? You've been doing your Shirley and Bassey impressions again, Baz. Is that what's been going on? You've been singing Goldfinger at the top of your voice,
right? Yeah.
I've been doing a lot of shouting at work today.
Yeah.
Well, you can find me on Facebook at Baz Shocker. I'm on Instagram at the Dark Shocker, YouTube, and I'm also on TikTok.
TikTok. Look at you, Barry. Look at you. Hey.
TikTok's just for fun, though. That's just fun.
Yeah,
I do.
You get a lot of views over
collection.
TikTok.
I always forget about the TikTok. I do have a
I do.
TikTok.
I set one up, John, and I keep getting followings every week, and I've never made a video.
I got a couple videos up there, but you know what's hilarious is I took a video on TikTok of all my carded collection of Star Wars. So the original Kenner carded figures that I have. And like the Darth Vader, the Luke Skywalker, they're all like 500 to 1,000 views, and they all got like all these views instantly. But if you look at the Ugnaught only has like 12 views. Like of all the figures, no one cares about the Ugnaught. They watch Darth Vader, Stormtrooper. They all have hundreds or thousands of views, but the Ugnaught's got 12. It literally is like 12. It's like, why doesn't anyone care about the Ugnaught? I'm like, what's going on?
I love Ugnaught. But no, thank you guys for coming on anyway. So thanks for Baz again. So
thank you.
Yeah. Thanks, Baz. Thanks, Dave. It was really a good time.
You're welcome.
Not this Thursday, guys. Next Thursday, 17th of March.
And take video. Take video of what you see at the show.
I will.
Until next week.